Oh, good.
Hey, everybody. It is Thursday, and that means it is WebDM Twitch time. How is everybody doing out there? As you can see, we have a bit of a shakeup today. Grant is out with a bit of an illness that seems to have stuck with him for a while. So we hope, Grant, wherever you are out there, that you are resting and getting the recuperation that you need. So instead, we've subbed in Pruitt, alternate Pruitt. He's here. He's ready to go. This is WebDM Twitch, Land Between Two Rivers. How is everybody out there doing? Pruitt, you're a guest tonight. Why don't you lead us off?
Well, Jim, I was so happy whenever you were like, "Hey, do you want to play tonight?" Because we didn't get to play Saber Dice last night, and I didn't get to do my 9 hours. And
right.
I was already starting to itch a little bit. But I do love that where I am on the placement on the screen, you got the green screens versus the non-green screens.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Take the non-green screen.
I didn't mean for that to happen.
Well, it looks like that's the way it's going down.
You see my printer?
But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to fill in, and I will be playing Mikhail, a drow artificer and man of commerce and technology. So we'll have to see what his deal is once we get started.
Our very own Elon Musk. Lindy, how are you?
I'm doing super spiffy. I'm ready to play some Land Between Two Rivers. Probably a lot of face palming going on because you just won't wait for backup. I don't understand. Mur doesn't understand. Her sense of self-preservation is very high, and it seems like certain other people's is very low. And she's she's thinking about things, and if things go too far south, she's probably going to nope out of there. We'll find out what happens. So yeah, I'm excited to play playing Mur.
TK, I do love your printing workshop. How are you doing?
Thanks. As everybody can see, I switched everything up. So if you were really attached to the Star Wars prints in the back, I'm sorry, RIP. Super excited to be here. Ready to protect my nest of little broodlings, specifically my two favorites, which are both out of the action, so it's fine. If I can convince them to sneak away and sacrifice our party members, I will probably do that. If I can't, next time I'll get it.
Next time. There's always a next time for betrayal and backstabbings. Anna, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing good. I totally did not wake up 10 minutes before this because I was cuddling my dogs. But I'll be playing Ellie, another cuddler with probably likes cuddling dogs right here. Yep. She is a human barbarian, and she's lovely. I love playing her, and I guess we'll see what goes on today because Mur's kind of like the adopted mom now, so whatever she says goes.
Yeah, there is sort of a. It seems as though that the group is split between Mommy Mur and Daddy Gildan.
Definitely.
Why are Mommy and Daddy fighting?
Yeah. And Josh, how are you?
Doing pretty good. I'm doing quite well, and I'm going to be playing blue tonight. We'll see if and what I blow up, and if I make sense doing it. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. There you go. Yeah, Josh is testing out a new druid subclass, and so if it comes to the fisticuffs, we'll have to see what that entails. Of course, we are sponsored by Tabletop Loot. They are our favorite dice provider and vendor and purveyor. So if you're looking for some new dice for yourself, just like you want to spice things up, or maybe it's like a DM's thing. They also sell shirts and mugs, as Pruitt is so helpfully modeling here. Check them out and get yourself a 50% off from Tabletop Loot. So last week, our party made a journey across the Badlands just north of the Horn River, shadowing a large force of drow, which is coming to lend aid to Trade Town and the Fellowship. Now, our party consists of one of the people that's pursued by these enemies of Trade Town, that is Gildan, and is escorting an NPC that is also pursued. So the party has kind of made their way through the Badlands, spoke to some of the merchants that make their their routes across that that part of the desert before approaching the outpost to the border of the land between two rivers from the north, where they have concealed themselves in some vegetation across the river, and observing that there were about 12 or so of their enemies who have occupied the fort. Gildan summoned an illusion of himself to fool some of them, while the rest of the party seemed poised for action where we left off. And so I'm going to hand it to you guys. We had Baloo and Gildan up front. Now, everybody, remember, was gaining the benefits of a pass without trace. That was from Icky, so everybody's very stealthy, not leaving any tracks, that kind of thing. And as you are poised for action, I'm going to hand it off to you guys and see what you do.
Mer, are you sure we're not supposed to go and just fight with them? Are they gonna die?
Well, if they do die, it is not our fault. We warned them against this course of action, and they went and did it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I thought they would be a little bit more reasonable like us.
One would think, but they are men.
Hey, Icky.
And Icky just looks over at her.
Should we help them? Should we stay here?
And she kind of does a slow blink, and she's like, if they die, does Icky have to put dirt on them too?
Yes.
And Blue's pretty big.
Yeah, and Icky's just like looks
It's
like
a lot of dirt.
put
It's a lot
out,
of work.
just like. If Mer says we go, we go.
Okay. Even though I'm like whispering, even though we're like super far away.
Yeah, we're like 200 feet away.
Yeah.
Right.
Icky is not whispering. She's just talking at her normal volume. She's like, if Mer says we go, we go. And just like, she doesn't want to be here either, to be perfectly honest.
We're all just sitting there watching. And then I'm sure
Yeah.
Kelrol and Memnon are even farther back, just like,
Yeah,
you
they're
think they're
even
gonna
further
help
back.
them, or you think they're just gonna watch this go down?
Dying for Gildan is low on her priority list. Especially when Gildan doesn't actually have a plan.
That's very true.
Not at all.
Yeah, Kelrol and Memnon are like way back, even further than y'all. Although Kelrol does have his bow out, and you know, if it comes to it, will help. But
Yeah,
his primary
max
obligation is,
bow range.
yeah, keeping the NPC alive. The two NPCs will look out for each other. Not being party members, they know they're first to die. So how
Like
about
Cahad.
poor Cahad? R.I.P. Cahad. How about Baloo down by the water's edge?
Well, you know, to be honest, he was kind of following the lead of Gildan, and Gildan's here. Gildan's here. But you know what? I'm a man of my word, even when it's not spoken. So Gildan has distracted the would-be assailants. The guys on the speedy knives and yeah, the things.
They are the furthest away from where you're at, right? So like 3 of them got on their knife chariots and were flying out where Gildan's illusion sort of explodes and makes a big scene. To remind you, you are 70 feet from the little jetty that sticks out of the opposite riverbank and about 80 feet away from the riverbank itself. From the opposite riverbank from where you're at. So there's at least 3 of them out, which would make, as far as you've been able to count, 9 of them still inside the small border fort. And but most of their attention is focused away from you.
Okay. Oh my god. Do I want to get closer, guys? I probably don't. I'm a blasty. Yeah. All right. I'm going to invoke Nature's Fury.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Call Lightning.
All right, let's go ahead and roll initiative before all the action starts here. Okay.
I got an 8.
An 8 for Ellie. I got for mine. I got a 19 for the fort. Can anybody beat my 19?
I have a 19 as well.
I have a 19 as well.
Good grief. What's y'all's dex?
18.
18.
All right.
We must be related. Oh, no, mine's 16. Mine is 16.
16. Okay. All
Get
right.
out of here, you
I
guys.
was thinking the +4 modifier, but then I was like, wait, no, I'm half proficient.
Okay. And anybody higher than a 19? No. Okay. And then let's see for myself. So less than that. What was Ellie's? You said it was 8. And Baloo's
7.
7. Good grief. And TK
14.
14. So there will be. I keep mixing up y'all's character names as I kind of write everything down. So we'll see how that goes. Right. It's all just going to get confused from here on out.
Oh, yeah.
It's Team Green Screen versus Team Not. I mean, that's what it is.
Right.
We all have the 19s anyway.
So
We're the toughest characters over here.
Should we roll for Gildan too, or?
Gildan will go with my NPCs who rolled poorly in last. And I'll kind of see. I will assume control of Gildan. So initiative order is going to be unknown guest player Pruitt, Myrrh, myself in the fort, then Icky, then Ellie, Baloo, and then my NPCs. So Baloo, everyone, you can kind of see where Baloo is hiding at. You can see him casting and sort of like an aura of power surrounding him. I don't know, Josh, how does your Nature's Fury manifest as anything when you invoke it?
There's no like anima, you know. But you can tell on me as I kind of go nuts. One of my eyes goes red to match the other one. And of course, I'm like conjuring in a giant, well, kind of small storm. So there's that.
Right. You can see like you can hear thunder rolling in as Baloo casts the Call Lightning spell.
And who's the closest target?
The closest target you have is 80 feet away.
Okay. I am going to hit that guy with a lightning bolt. That's part of my action.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And he needs to, I believe he makes a dex save. Yes.
Yeah, there are 2 of them in a watchtower. Those are the closest ones to you.
How close together are they?
They are within 5 feet of each other.
They both need to make me a dex save.
Well, that's a 5 and a 15. Sorry, a 5 and a 13.
Meets, right? So the 13 beats it.
Okay.
Right away, I get to use my surprise attack. The electric damage on the first round of combat.
Correct.
That ain't so bad. That ain't so bad at all. 30 or 15.
30 or 15? All right. So this is the action which initiates combat because Myrrh is going to be or rather we'll see with it. So Baloo has done this. Lightning flashes down out of the sky. The watchtower across the way on the border fort, the top of it sort of explodes outward as the lightning bolt hits it, and you can see 2 of the servitors fly out of the tower as they are blown off of it from the lightning bolt. Initiative has started. Mikhail, it is your turn.
So yes, that all happened, and like Myrrh and Ellie were like having their conversation, and then like from like right next to like 10 feet away from Myrrh. So this is where we take the tower, yes? We are backing up your friend, huh? And he like stands up and like pulls up this big ass fucking
Who are
gun.
you and where did you come from?
I am Mikhail. I have been following you for days. And then he fires off a
I'm
shot.
not comforted by this. I also look like Memnon right now because I have the disguise self on.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, a fellow drow pops up next to you, and we cover him with fire. No, is the saying?
I suppose we could. And she's just face palming at this moment. Just
So Jim, I got a 26 to hit one of the guys in the towers.
Uh-huh.
And with a loud report, it's going to be
oh great, they know where we are now.
19 damage.
19 damage.
If you need to split the piercing from the thunder, I will. But
no, there's no need.
Yeah.
Okay, so there were 2 of them in the tower. Which one are you targeting?
do either? I mean, they both just look the same, right? The
One
on
of
the
them
left.
looked like they were really fucked up by the lightning bolt.
Well, I'm gonna hit that guy then.
All right. Then when he lands on the ground, does not get back up. As this. Go ahead.
Yes. Crack shots, they called me, and he pops out a large like shell, and he pulls one out and pops it back in with his bonus action, and then kind of hunkers back down in the behind the trench that we're in.
All right, so a strange drow with a very large gun has appeared next to Myrrh, Ellie, and Icky, and seems to be attacking the fort. It is Myrrh's turn.
I mutter in Infernal, I am surrounded by idiots. And strafe, like, away from the really loud gun. And it appears that we're doing this, and I'll give like, the eye roll nod to Ellie and Icky, and I'm gonna shoot the other guy. Oh, no. I'm gonna shoot one of the guys on their speeders. Because they're super fast. Like, if anyone, like, you said they're headed towards where Baloo and Gildan were?
They're where the illusory Gildan was, so they're
Okay.
actually heading away from where you're at,
Okay.
but they will be coming back within range pretty
Okay,
soon.
well, if they're not within range, I'll shoot at the guy at the tower then.
Okay.
So, and I was just on the edge of range. So, okay.
Everything's a concentration spell, Joe.
Everything's a concentration spell. Yes,
Yes,
that's
it is.
very true.
That's so true. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
Yes, 21's going to hit.
Okay, and I would like to use my Mantle of Whispers and make this do psychic damage as well.
Okay.
So that's going to be D8 plus 3d6. Where's my D8? There it is. Okay, I'm not crazy. Oh, that's really good. It's an 8. No. 11 points of piercing damage, and then 16 points of psychic damage.
Wow.
I rolled really, really well.
All right. So, yeah, your arrow hits it, and I don't know. I forget. Does your arrows do they manifest some sort of visual indicator that they're imbued with your psychic power?
They just have like a little bit of shadow around them.
Okay.
It's harder to see because it's all shadowy. It's just like a shot dark.
A dark bolt.
I just pull it across my sitar and let her fly.
So it gets hit, and it's like as it's landing out of the tower, as the tower gets blown up, it gets hit and tries to roll out of the way, and actually moves behind the base of the tower. There's like some debris and stuff down there to get actually out of sight from where you're at. And then, unless that was your move and attack, was there anything else that?
No, that was my bonus action too, to imbue it with the Mantle of Whispers. So.
All right, so my go.
Or Psychic Blades, rather. Not that.
Psychic blades. So between the lightning bolt and the boom cannon, the 3 that were on their flying chariots turn around and begin to head back towards the fort. Now there are the rest of them that are in the fort are kind of running around. They're confused by momentarily confused by the watchtower blowing up. But it looks like 4 of them that were closest to the riverbank disappear momentarily, and Baloo, you can tell that they have teleported across the river and are nearby from where you were at. That they have
speeders.
No, they were there 1 minute and then gone, and then now they're next to you. And then the remaining ones in the fort start to return fire just in your general direction. So we'll roll for those first. And as they fire back, their weapons make a noise not dissimilar to your new arrival's weapon. And let's see. Ooh, I don't think that's going to hit anything. No. And most of y'all are hidden anyway, so they're just kind of like firing onto the hillside where they think y'all are at. So there was that. Now the 4 that teleported to the other side Blue, I recall you having an outlandish, like north of 30 stealth from.
Yeah, it was like.
I had like a 34 and he hit the 32.
Yeah, I remember you guys had. So until you revealed yourself, that's what it will have. So, spotted you. None of the ones have spotted Baloo or Gildan, but they are fanning out along the riverbank and are working their way up the hill. Look, they're in pairs right now. 2 on one side and then 2 on the other. And is that it? I think I've got. Oh, those are flying back. All right, that's the end of my turn. That makes it Icky's turn.
Icky's, as soon as the drow shows up and starts just like shooting people, Icky's like really mad because it's kind of her job to make sure that people that she doesn't approve of don't come near the party. So like she follows Mur's lead, and if she's gonna be watching Mur to see if Mur gives her the eyes to be like, well, you're gonna have to eat him now. But she's mad, so just know right now that if something happens to him, she's not gonna do a damn thing. Does she see the servitors appear along the riverbank beside Baloo?
Yeah.
Then she'll take aim with her short bow at one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, since she gets 2 attacks, can she shoot one and then the other, or can she shoot one twice? Is that fine?
However you want to split it.
Okay, I would like to shoot one twice.
All right.
All right, the first one is 19 plus 5. Okay, so it is a 23, the first one, and then
23.
the second shot is a 16.
16 hits as well. Those 2 hits.
Oh, nice.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Pokey, for the cheer there. Got 2 hits from Icky or short bow.
And 1d6 plus death. The first one's a 4. And the second one's a 4. Should have just hit one twice. But no, he aims for 2 different ones.
Okay.
It's kind of like Legolas, like whoop, whoop.
Do you change from where you're at?
No, she will move closer to Ellie because Ellie does not have a bow.
Okay. Then Nikki moves closer to Ellie, which makes it Ellie's turn.
Cool. So seeing as this random person came to our knowledge, I guess, and just blasted these people, Ellie's eyes are just gonna go like bright anime with like, I want one of those. Can I get one? Is it possible? Where'd you get that?
I built it. As he's like reloading.
Oh. And I look over to Icky. I'm gonna steal it.
Icky just like makes a look at her. She's like, I don't care what you do, and like kind of like attempts to smile, but
You have a lovely smile. And then how close is like the nearest enemy?
The nearest enemy, I think if it's within short bow range, I want to say it's like 60 feet away because they like teleported and then moved up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, since Ellie isn't that smart, she's going to throw one of her hand axes. She has 2.
Okay.
So thug life. Oh, does a 23 hit?
Yeah, 23 would hit.
Wow, perfect. Wow.
Although, do you have disadvantage because it's like 60 feet away from a hand axe?
Okay, I could roll with disadvantage.
Sorry about that.
I got the same thing.
No joke. It's like Ellie arcs hand axe way up.
Deal it.
Thanks, DJ.
And then she's going to hit. There it is. 4 damage.
4 damage. So this is one of the ones that that Icky has just shot as well.
Awesome.
So you start like peppering them with axes and arrows and like. Anything else that Ellie does?
Yeah, we're level 5. I have another action.
Correct.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing with my other hand axe.
Go for it.
Does an 18 hit?
18 hits.
Okay, cool. And then 7 damage.
Same one or a different one?
If he's still up.
He's still up.
Yeah, same guy.
Okay. Yeah, these two guys are just like dodging your arrows and hand axes as they are making a beeline for you right now. So it is Blue's turn.
Blue is going to ask the angry earth, the land around him, what he should do. He's going to go, should I turn into a crocodile and sit in the water and just call lightning over and over and over again? The earth says, okay, sure. My reply is no. Okay, fine. Then he's just going to regular cast lightning.
All right.
Are any of them within 5 feet of each other?
No, they are
Okay.
they have spread out a bit. They're advancing in pairs, but they're not close to each other.
Okay. I'm going to find one of the ones that's already harried, because this is going to be funny. I'm going to hit him with the lightning.
Yeah, there's one that Icky is hit and that Ellie has thrown 2 hand axes at.
Yeah, give me a dex save, bro.
DC 13?
Yes, DC 13.
Yeah, 10.
16 damage.
16. All right, yeah, this guy's quite hurt. He's about 30 feet away from where you're at and 60 feet away from Ellie and Icky.
And that completes my turn. I'm staying where I am near the water.
Okay, so it's my turn with the NPCs. A giant hag puppet appears somewhere over the brush. Gildan is still in hiding, but it moves to start attacking the ones that everybody's like focus firing on. So roll that
Poor
one.
guy.
Ooh, and it got a crit. That's a D8 for a spiritual weapon. Yes.
I think so.
So that's going to be 15 damage on that one. So one of the ones that like they've just been hit 3 or 4 times with lightning and arrows and hand axes, the hag puppet finishes off and just like mashes into a pulp. Gildan is still in hiding. Otherwise, Kelral is not revealing his position yet because it doesn't look like there's a threat. So that makes it the end of mine. Back to the top of the initiative with Mikhail.
Okay, so Mikhail, he reloaded last round, so he pops up, kind of looking over at the group like, yes, we build friendship in under fire, do we not, huh? And he fires another shot off.
I do not know this person.
That's a 22 to hit. I'm going to try to hit one of the guys that's already hurt.
These 2 that are advancing.
So that's going to be 21 damage as another shot fires off across the desert.
Okay. Yeah, he's severely wounded as his friend gets mashed into a pulp by the hag.
And then I'm just going to kind of move 30 feet laterally, trying to keep low behind like some, if there's like shrubbery or like a dune or something. Like
yeah, the closer you get to the river, the more cover there is.
Okay. Then move up just a little bit, but not too close. I want to keep some range.
Okay. And appreciate Catalyst Creations for the sub. Thank you, Mutt.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And then bonus action reload.
Bonus action reload. Excellent.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot somebody with my bow.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody wounded that's still alive? What about that guy I shot the first time? Is he still about?
He's in cover right now.
Oh, well, I guess I'll shoot someone who's not as in cover.
Maybe I should take care of that guy.
Yeah,
Lightning bolts go on the other side of cover.
they do. So I'm gonna shoot basically at if there's like a loner guy or someone who's already injured, I'm gonna shoot at him.
There is a loner.
Okay.
It was approaching Icky and Ellie.
I'll shoot the loner then and hit my fork. That is going to be a 18 to hit.
18 hits.
Okay, awesome. And this is no fancy, not using all my inspiration. So, but it is going to be 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. That's 9. That makes it. Ooh, this guy is severely hurt, but not quite dead. And is Mer do anything else?
She's gonna keep strafing and like moving like not like super close, but maybe just like 10 feet closer and strafe in a direction so they don't know where the arrows are coming from.
Gotcha. All right. Wait just a second while I do some maths. Yep. It's just one of those things you got to do as a dungeon master. So you guys.
Wait, you do?
Yeah, you're supposed to, I think. The lone one that is advancing on the party, or Ellie and Icky rather, takes a knee and takes aim with the gun that he has and fires on the two of you, while also sort of seeking some shelter from the withering hail of projectiles and magic you've thrown at them. That is going to be a 23 to hit Ellie.
Ooh, yeah, that hits.
That hits. And that's going to be 7 damage, piercing damage to Ellie. And the other two that are sort of on the other side of this sort of cluster of foliage that we're advancing up the opposite. So those of you who are kind of like have popped out of hiding to attack, they take aim at you. So I think there's one on Icky, and then one on Kale. So that is going to be, that's a big miss for Icky. I don't think 7 hits. And how about a 17 for Kale?
That does hit.
All right. In that case, that's going to be 8 damage piercing to Kale. And the two of them, they fire and then they move into the underbrush and are obscured from view, is where they're at now. Opposite side, those of them on the their flying chariots return to the fort. They dismount, and a bunch of them moved right to the edge where they're poking their guns out of the large circular hut that's right by the dock that's there, and are firing up the hill and sort of making life difficult. There's a lot of dust that's being kicked up, lots of noise being created as these muskets go off. So let's see, that is not going to hit. And I don't think, does a 16 hit Ellie? Oh, a 16 does?
Right on the dot. Yep.
And that's
Gildan
another.
was the insane AC.
That's right, Gildan's tank. That's another 5 piercing damage to Ellie.
Ow.
And let's see, Icky, I did hit you with a 21. No, I didn't. Then that's,
I was just expressing my displeasure.
That's 6 piercing damage to Icky.
I will not stand for this oppression.
I will not stand for this at all. My goodness, I am rolling all right today. And then, Baloo, you are not otherwise hiding, are you?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
He's too busy, like, conjuring the storm.
Ooh, that's 14 damage to Baloo.
Okay. I don't mind. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
And I believe, let's see, that was 1, 2, those guys, the other guys. I think I'm done. Icky, it's your turn.
Okay. So, how close is the servitor that attacked Ellie first on your round? Who's coming up on us?
Who's coming up on you is 40 feet away.
40 feet?
Yeah.
I would love to use my mobile and burrow to him, grapple him, and drag him underground.
Okay. Give me an athletics roll.
Where are my dice? Oh, God.
Jeez. You got to beat a 5.
Watch me fight.
Challenge accepted.
I guarantee. Just kidding, a 15.
Nice.
His ass is mine. Yeah, she just there's a little, she just disappears into the ground, and there's a little burrow straight towards him, up between his legs, grabs him full around the waist, drags him as far straight down as she possibly can, and just holds him 40 feet underground straight down.
Okay.
So I hope he can breathe for longer than she can, because he's not gonna have a great time shooting his bow from there.
No,
Or
he is
gun.
certainly not. All right, so
Gonna have
Iki
that.
takes one of them underground. That was the one that was closest to Ellie and the rest of the group, and disappears with them underneath the sands. I want to figure out what happens next round. Ellie, it's your turn.
That really hurt. Oh my god, I think that's blood. No, nobody try eating your blood. That's really gross. And she'll take out one of her daggers. And how close is the next guy? Since this guy's underground now.
So you know that there are two in the brush that's closer to the riverbank. They fired on you and then they moved into it out of view. And you know that there are a lot of them on the far side of the that are firing at you from the riverbank. But there's none that are like close by and visible.
Okay. She'll probably aim for the bush.
Okay.
So should I roll with disadvantage? So I can't
Yes. Go ahead and roll disadvantage.
see them? Sure. That's a. Oh, that's a 19.
19 would hit. I'm not sure. You're not sure
It's
what
gonna-
happens.
Yeah. Okay. Should I still roll for damage?
Go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. 7.
7 damage.
And then she's not sure if that even did anything, so she's gonna panic a little bit. Oh my god, I'm the worst fighter ever. And she's gonna grab another dagger and just throw it to the people that are in the water, or
The water in the fort.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh. 12?
Your dagger splashes into the river.
I don't even know why I'm here. I should have just stayed home.
Oh.
I'm useless. I'm sorry. And like she holds her arm. That's
You are
really
plenty useful.
Negative self-talk. Profit you'll none.
okay.
Just a little cloud of dust from the hole as Iki agrees with him. The dust says, "You are valid."
I'm inspired. You're such a badass.
They're all very true. Baloo, it is your turn.
So Blue got shot, right?
Yeah, Blue got shot.
He's going to cast plant growth on the riverside.
Okay.
So he's going to, everything within a 100-foot radius, so actually it's going to cover all of us, is going to become thick and overgrown. Creatures moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves.
Okay.
So basically he's just giving himself cover, possibly everyone else. We'll see.
So there's like an eruption of plant growth, yeah, because 100 feet stretches like to the other side of the river.
Yeah, that's radius. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So it's like the plants on the bottom of the riverbed like creep up and form like kind of a what do they call it, a Saratoga kind of thing, like just floating
Nice.
bits
Yeah.
across the way. It kind of overgrows. And of course, this part of the river is overgrown because there's a Fellowship standing stone here that kind of acts as a focal point, and it just like erupts in vegetation from Blue. So Blue is in cover. Pretty much anyone who ventures within 5 feet of the undergrowth is in full cover.
Nice.
There we go. And do you do anything else?
No, that's my action. I will kneel down so that I'm even less of a target until I can do what I'm doing next round.
Okay. And here we go. NPC's turn. The hag will continue to attempt to attack. Not going to happen. It's following something in the underbrush. And Kelral is still hunkered down. That's fine. Mikhail, top of third round.
Okay, so what's the nearest guy?
The nearest one you can see from where you are at is about 100 feet away on the opposite side of a river. So you have about, actually it's more like 120 feet. You have about 80 feet of river, 40 feet of slope down to it.
That's fine.
when you get there.
It's still within my my vision and range of my gun. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop off another shot at that dude. Ow. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit.
Oh, sweet.
There are a couple of them that are still out in the open.
6, 13 plus 4, 17 damage. And he will go ahead and pull another slug out of his little bandolier across his chest, pop it in place, slam it, and move up. Can I move up closer to some better cover? You said? Yeah. I'm gonna move up to get in, like, if I can get in full cover, if possible.
Yes.
Okay.
So Mikhail is in full cover. Baloo is in full cover. Myrrh, it's your turn.
Yeah. You said there's still a few in the open. The rest are all in cover.
There are 3 of them still in the open across the way in the fort.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna, I guess, shoot at one of them in the fort then. Yeah, because I don't know exactly where the guys are in the bushes. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's really good. That's a 25. Does that hit?
25 hits.
Okay, good. That's not as great. 6 points of damage.
To which one? There's 3 of them in the open. One of them's been hit by Mikhail.
I would hit the one that's already been hit.
Okay, that's 6.
Pick him off.
All right, picking them off. Do anything else?
Try to get in better cover if possible, even though I don't think they've seen me. I can strafe and duck for cover.
And then, oh gosh, Icky. Right, let me see here for a second. So Myrrh is now in cover. There is abundant cover thanks to Baloo within easy distance of your move. Right now, all right. So we've got. Let's see what's happening underground. We've got one of them who was grabbed by Icky, and gosh, I think he's gonna try to attack Icky.
That's fair. I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an episode of Tremors right here, so.
Walk into the wrong goddamn rec room, didn't you?
I'm ready. If he kills me, good luck climbing 40 feet straight up.
He does not have all of his weapons are rather big, though, so it doesn't have a dagger. So he's attempting to punch Icky with his mailed, just like he's going for the snout. You know.
I'm ready.
All right. Let's see. That is going to be a 17 and a 15 to hit.
Fair. He hits both times. 2 hits. Yeah.
All right. And in terms of damage, that is going to be it's 7 total, 7 bludgeoning damage to Icky, as he's just like, he does have armor on his thing. It's got like kind of brass knuckles as he smacks you. Still grappled, and doesn't try to do anything. You're really close to him, though. I think Icky would smell like the blood drying on his wounds, drying very quickly. You haven't been this close to one of them yet. Like, y'all fought these guys before a couple times.
Yeah.
But Icky can smell that the blood of his wounds is drying very quickly.
Okay, so he's probably regenerating pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Safe bet.
I can wait.
Yeah. And speaking of that, the one that the hag puppet had mashed into a pulp earlier gets up from where it was and takes its weapon and attempts to shoot. I think Ellie's still in the open. Baloo, Myrrh, and Kale are still. So, and you're like, actually, where you're at, he draws a sword and charges Ellie.
Nice. Not nice. Sorry.
This is perfect for her.
Okay, good.
My first one is a 6, and my second one is a 17.
The second one hits.
Second one hits.
Mm-hmm.
And dice. It's weird rolling like metal dice and plastic dice at the same time, because plastic dice just feel like they weigh nothing. So it's going to be 7 slashing damage and 2 psychic damage as it harshes your mellow with its blade.
My mellow is so harsh.
Yeah. So it runs up, very big, sort of vibrating psychic saber in its hand, tries to attack you. Hits. That was that. And then those of them, the 3 of them that were in the open on the other side, teleport to y'all's side of the river. And so there are 3 more on this side, although along with the 2 that are in the underbrush, you can't really see them. They immediately move from their teleport into where Baloo has created the cover. What else do I have? And I have Baloo. You are not wild chick, were you? You're just regular old Baloo.
You can kill me if you want.
I don't want to kill anyone ever, although I did just crit with one of the ones who was on.
It doesn't happen to be a elemental attack.
It is not an elemental attack. So the 2 of them that were on the opposite side that are coming through, they've got their sabers out and they are hacking through the underbrush, just like slicing it away. And one of them comes across Baloo. You can see the other one's like 5 feet away, just, partially obscured. But Baloo is going to take some damage. That's going to be 18 damage, 11 of which is psychic.
Which drug elements don't have.
Right.
Okay.
And that's my go. That makes it Ellie's turn. Or sorry, Icky's turn.
So this guy is grappled. Can I use my bite if he's grappled, or do I have to let him go?
No, you can use your bite while he's grappled.
I would like to bite him twice and then use my bonus action and do Hungry Jaws.
Okay.
I'm ready!
Yeah.
Where's my dice? Oh, I found it.
Nice.
All right, so 2 bites. Oh, man. That's an 18 and a 16 for my bites.
2 hits.
So d6 plus my strength modifier. That is a 5 and a 4. And then for Hungry Jaws, oh no! I have to attack again with Hungry Jaws. Oop. And that is a 16. And normal damage, so I guess a 1d6 because it's a bite, plus my strength, which is a 5. And I gain 2 hit points.
2 hit points back?
Yes.
What was the total damage?
So 5, 5, 4, 14.
14.
Yeah. And then I gain back 2 of my hit points.
Gotcha.
So it's just a fucking like...
And you just keep burrowing underground. You're just like...
Can I burrow underground? I don't know.
You move at half... If you're grappling someone, you move at half speed, so you can't move your full speed.
I did 2 attacks and a bonus action, so do I still get a movement? Or
you still get a move, yeah. Yeah, you have 20 feet of movement.
Sure, I'd like to do 20 feet even further underground.
All right.
Just straight down, because he's not climbing out of there.
No, he's certainly
even
not.
if he kills me.
I was gonna say you can just leave him.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
That was a way better idea.
That's true. I was like, I was expecting you to burrow him down and then leave and then pop back up and just keep like burying him alive.
Next round, I'm gonna leave his body down there. Next round.
No matter what, just leaving him down there. His regenerating ass can just stay 60 feet in the earth.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
60 feet under.
Time.
Yeah. Boom. That's awesome. All right. So there's something going on under the ground. Occasionally, like little spurts of, like if you ever find like a gopher's nest or something that you like see the little spurts of dirt come up. That's what it's like with Icky. Sometimes there's blood. Ellie, it's your turn.
So Ellie is hurting very bad. So that pisses her off, and she's gonna rage.
Nice.
And she's going to attack this thing with her great axe.
Okay.
Okay. That's a 20, not a natural 20.
20 hits. An unnatural 20.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Yeah. 17 points of damage for this thing. And dead. Dead. That's another 20 to hit.
Yeah.
She is so mad. Come on. And that is 12, 13, 14, 17.
17. So Ellie just like savages this guy. He's only got 10 hit points left. And that was what, 20, 30 something?
It was a lot of damage.
That was a lot. It was like 32-ish. Yeah. So you just like savage this guy with your, what, you have an axe?
Yeah, my great axe.
Great axe.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, he was already like kind of partially, still injured.
Yeah.
And it slides down the hill from where you're at.
And then she'll look back to like the people that teleported towards us, and she'll like walk right next to them. Towards them.
Yeah, you can hear fighting that's going on in the bushes. You can hear Baloo maybe howling in pain or something, or rage. I'm not sure. And there are at least, as far as you know, 6 of them in that underbrush. Doing their thing.
How far was Baloo from us? Still away?
Y'all had moved down a ways. I think it was about maybe 50 feet from y'all.
I'm at the water's edge. So.
Right at the water's edge.
Oh.
So I think 50 feet's good.
Okay, then I'll stay with everybody here.
Okay. And then that makes it Baloo's turn. There's one of them in melee with Baloo.
Okay. So
And then another that's like 5 feet away, but in the brush.
Okay. 5 feet away. How far does Thunderwave go?
It's like 15 feet, something like that.
15 foot cube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a cube. You could position anywhere around you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Thunderwave as a second level spell. And give me a. Oh my god, I just had it. Give me a con save.
8 and a 19.
Okay, so 19's fine. I guess you pick which is which.
We'll say the one in cover is the 19, and the one in front of you is the 7. Took the full force of your Thunderwave.
Makes a little more sense. So the one in melee takes 11. It's pushed back 10 feet, and then the other guy takes 5.
Okay.
Unless he has something to negate that.
Let's see here real quick. So that was 11, you said, and then 5. So the one right next to you is pushed back, really more like, and everybody can kind of see this, sort of like flies and sort of just barely see him surface above the top of the canopy of the undergrowth. Pushed back, of course, the whole thing is like shakes as this thunder wave forces its way out of the brush. Do anything else, Baloo?
I'm diving into the water, just straight up.
Okay.
All my movement, I'm just diving.
All right. You guys see Baloo dive into the water. That was my go. Let's see. The hag protects Gildan's boyfriend, and but misses.
The hag is joining them.
No, the hag is the spiritual weapon is still just fighting the one that it was on in the undergrowth, but it missed this time. It was one of the ones that you were just fighting,
Okay.
and Kelral's just watching. So, seems legit. Mikhail.
Doing a good job, guys.
Good job, guys.
So there are still some that are harassing Baloo, yes?
Correct.
Is that probably the nearest one to me?
Yeah, we'll say that's more likely the nearest one for you. There's 2 of them that just got like pushed through the undergrowth, and then you heard a splash in the water.
But it's kind of hard to see them, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Mikhail will he'll pull up and draw a bead on the one that's harassing Blue because he's seen this bugbear and what he can do. Got to keep him alive. So I will draw a bead and fire. That's going to be hit. That's 22 to hit.
22 hits.
2, 12, 18 plus 4 is 22 damage. As I crack off another shot in this guy's side and just kind of let out a hearty as he's pulls another shell out, reloads, moves a little bit further down the brush. Always like moving every time he shoots. And
it's a drow tactic. You move every time you shoot.
Mm-hmm. That's the way they cannot know where you are. Yes.
Shoot and scoot. Sure.
Shoot and scoot.
Shoot and scoot. Yes, the noise kind of gives you away, but nevertheless, if you're on the outskirts of the undergrowth, it's easy, and all you have to do is like 5 feet of movement. You're in cover. So that was Mikhail. It's Mer's turn.
She's just, gonna face palm because she foresaw all of this, and no one listened. Well, some people listened, but then she had to bail other people's asses out. Who looks injured? I know Baloo's injured, but he just jumped in. How does Ellie look?
I got 1 HP.
Oh wow!
Oh,
I don't think I can get to you.
Yeah, I have 12 from my original, but I'll be okay because I'm raging now, so I take half damage.
That's true. How far away is Ellie? Just
30 feet.
30 feet.
Yeah, y'all were pretty close together.
And she's in melee with a guy, right?
No, she just savaged
she just
a dude
savaged
in
him.
Yeah,
All
she's
right.
by herself right now.
Yeah, it's a war crime.
And everyone else is in cover? Are there no more guys in the open?
You can see movement enough in the undergrowth that you think you might be able to like target the square they're in.
Okay. Does there appear
kinda...
to be anybody within 20 feet of each other in the undergrowth?
Yes.
All right. I'm just gonna drop a fucking shatter on them.
All right.
They're not gonna be happy with that. So they need to make me. I believe it's Dex or Con. I'm double checking real quick. I gotta pull.
I want to say it's Con.
I want to say it's Con too, but I'm not positive. Load faster spellbook. Their DC is 15.
Okay. And that's a 20-foot radius?
It's a 10-foot radius, so it's 20 feet total.
That'll catch 3 of them.
All right, and I'm doing it at 3rd level.
You said that was Con?
It is Con, yes.
Sweet. Then one of them got a 21, the others are rocking single digits.
Okay. Well, in that case, then they're going to take 4d8 or half if they saved, so...
You shatter their bones with...
Yeah, well...
Sorry, man. These guys don't have hearing anymore. No way.
That's very true.
That's
very true. I wonder what spells would be considered war crimes.
Okay.
Dominate.
No one sees me cast this. This is why I'm in the thing. Alright, so that's 8, 15, 18, 24 points.
24 points of damage?
Thunder damage. Half if he made the save.
Yes. One of them passed the save. 2 of them failed and take the full 24. One of them, it's kind of hard to tell what exactly is going on in there, but like one of the trees falls over after the shatter.
Does it land on one of them?
Yeah, it's like there's just a whole area of the undergrowth that like crashes in on itself after the shatter goes off. But between the shatter and the thunder wave, the trees have taken quite a beating.
Just give a little smirk and again strafe. I'm gonna strafe closer to Ellie though.
Okay.
Still in cover, but closer.
Just a second. Private chat, folks.
Oh, fair.
Right. And so that is my turn. We'll start with our man underground, desperately attempting. He has now realized, I think, his predicament and is going to attempt to break free of a grapple. We'll see if that does him any good. That's a 10 for my athletics check.
19. So.
19. Okay, so he's still stuck. Then with my second attack, he's just going to attempt to rage against the dying of his. That's not going to happen. He got a 9 to hit.
He's having a great day.
He's really.
I'm glad I could spend these moments with him.
It's real quality time with the Deathstalker lizard from the Wasteland.
So a deep conversation.
Right. So that guy is screwed. The rest of them, let's see. There are guys there. There are 4 of them still in the underbrush. They begin making their way out. So 2 of them have kind of like worked their way to the edge and are closest to where Myrrh and Ellie are, but they have their swords out. They don't have their guns. And so they are going to, let's see. Myrrh's AC is 15.
Yes.
So one of them comes out and rushes at Myrrh. I got a, including the nearest one I got is 14. So Myrrh misses. And then for Ellie.
He's going to regret coming into melee with her.
But I think Ellie is going to get hit once.
No.
Yay.
That's going to be 6 slashing and 3 psychic.
Okay, so that's 3. Well, that would be 6.
It was just 6 total because you're just.
Yeah.
That was them. The rest of the ones in the undergrowth you can tell are making their way out, sort of like following them. The swaying of the trees and everything, they look like they're all coming out the same way. And then those remaining, the one who was behind cover of that first one that barely survived the tower exploding and like crawled into cover to avoid being hit, he pops out and starts firing at the group. And so there is another volley from the fort up to the hillside. 23 hits Myrrh.
Yeah.
23 hits Myrrh. And I don't guess a 14 hits Mikhail?
No, 16 is AC.
16 is AC. It's going to be 6 piercing damage to Myrrh.
Gross.
And just
Ew.
that's the end of my.
At least this silk is self-mending.
That's very true. It's self-mending rope. That's the end of my turn. That makes it Icky's turn.
I promised I would fill that tunnel.
Just dig back up, bury him underneath.
Straight through the riverbed.
All right. So you let him go.
That river, yeah, she's gonna go straight through that riverbed. She can hold her breath for like 10 or 15 minutes. So she's gonna let that riverbed flood the shit out of that fucking tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
She's having fun with this guy.
She's having a great time.
Yeah.
You
It's the best she's felt in a long time. Yeah, and she's just gonna let that, and she's gonna let him go like, I had fun today.
What did we learn? This is fun.
Straight into this part of the river.
Bury drown more people.
Scratch that one off the list. In that case, if you're in the river, you kind of like pop up through the river, then like Icky and Baloo sort of meet each other underwater.
That's fine.
In a great big cloud of mud and dirt that comes up.
You'll probably, if she can, grab onto Baloo to make sure he doesn't drain into the tunnel.
Okay. Very good. Excellent.
And she's going to hang out underwater since she can hold her breath for about 15 minutes. So
okay.
She's going to hang there for cover.
Sounds good. Ellie, there are 2 of your enemies within melee with you. You got one on you and then one on Myrrh. You guys are like real close together.
I'm going to hit the one that just hit me.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to recklessly attack him.
Okay.
So, is it 15 hit?
15 hits.
Okay, cool. And then 15 points of damage.
15?
Yeah. And then I'm going to go. Yeah, I'll do it. No, I have another attack.
Mm-hmm.
So still 18. That hits.
18 hits.
Ooh, okay. That's nice. That's a nice number. I could get behind that. So that's going to be an 18 damage, and I'm going to go into a frenzy. So I'm gonna attack. Is he still alive?
No, he is down. You're you're just like boom, boom. There's one within like 10 feet of you, though.
Okay, I'm gonna aim for that guy.
Okay.
So that's an 18 to hit. All right. And then 8 damage to that guy.
8 damage to that guy. All right. Where's my watch? Okay. 8 damage to him as Ellie sees red, goes into her frenzy. And you can tell, like, you can see like 3 more coming out of the underbrush, not very far from where you're at. Let's see. Okay. That's Ellie's turn. And Baloo, you're next. You're up.
I'm gonna turn into a crocodile, although this is the crazy post-apocalyptic future, so maybe it's more like a Pokemon-style crocodile, you know? It's like a crocodile merged with something else, like a fridge.
Easily,
Anyway, I turned into a giant weird crocodile thing, and I'm just gonna hang out for a minute, swim next to Icky. Feeling good.
All right.
Some HP, which is nice.
Nice.
I just imagine you looking like Crocubot from Rick and Morty.
I wish I got that reference, Pruitt. I'm sorry.
Got to be cool, man.
I know.
Got the red eye and everything.
That's yeah. Okay. I'm googling.
That's true. That's right. You're whatever wild shape you turn into, your cyborg eye remains ever the same. Just two lizards hanging out, just 2 reptiles hanging out underwater. No big deal.
Feeling the stream. Yeah.
Normal day. Perfectly normal day. So Blue uses action to do anything with that. You're just floating. Are you submerged still?
Oh, absolutely. I have 1 HP left. Now I've got 20 total, so I'm trying to stay out of sight. I'll emerge and lightning anybody if I have to.
All right, here we go.
Although, Jim, I think we should point out that I didn't have to make any concentration saves when I got hit.
That's very true. So one of the features of the subclass that Josh is testing out is that when they enter it's basically like nature's fury. They don't have to make concentration checks when they take damage. Hag Puppet actually hits something.
Yay!
One of the ones coming out of the underbrush gets hit, and that's going to be that. And then Kelral decides to join into the fray at this point and peeks up over cover. He's about 100 feet back and starts firing at those that are emerging from undercover. And that is 1 hit for another. End of my turn. We are top of the 5th round with Mikhail.
Okay, so do we still have the guy that was harrying Baloo before he went in the water, or did he go in?
No, that one's down. There is one that is in melee with Ellie and Myrrh, and then 3 more that are emerging from the undergrowth about 10 feet away.
From
That's
them
the
or
one
from me?
From Ellie and Myrrh.
Okay. Well, in that case, since there's 3 more coming on, I will yell out, "Be sure to check your 6," and he's gonna fire off. Fuck.
No good.
I rolled a 1.
Ooh.
So yeah, he doesn't like that. And with these increased people, he's gonna go ahead and as a bonus action cast Shield of Faith.
Okay.
And then move 30 feet into the brush, like away.
Okay. So it's like 4 feet of movement. It's like quadruples, like the undergrowth, like quadruples the amount of movement you need to get into it. Because it's all plant growth out. So you could use 30 feet of movement, that only gets you like 5-10 feet in.
Yeah, it's 1 for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well I'll just move 5 feet into the brush then.
Okay. So Mikhail attempts fire shot, cast spell, moves in. Myrrh, you have 1 in melee with you.
Yeah, he's gonna wish he wasn't in melee with me. I have one of their swords.
Correct, you
I have
do.
another rapier. What does that do again? What do I need to roll for that?
So
it's like a D20 to hit. But...
yeah, if you use the weapon to deal psychic damage, you get advantage on that hit.
How do I use the weapon to deal psychic damage?
Like you've got your psychic blades feature or something like that, or maybe you have like a spell or something.
Yeah, let's do some psychic blades then.
Okay.
Okay, that's not bad. That is a 23.
23 hits.
Okay, and then it's a rapier, and then that's another 3d6. I need to keep all my d6s like in a little pile. Oh, that's 10 points of piercing damage, and then 14 points of psychic damage.
All right, so something happens that hasn't happened yet, like when Ellie's been knocking these guys out, or the others, is like this one actually screams when Myrrh downs it, and it goes down. Where Saber flashes in her hands and slashes out. And your wound causes the servitor to fall, screams in agony, and slides down. The body slides down the hill.
Good. And then I move in under better cover because that arrow, that shot was gross.
Okay. Yeah, you can get into cover.
Unnecessary.
And then, so there we go. My turn. Got 3 of them coming up through the underbrush. Some of them back in the fort. Several of them have gone down. Home guy's drowning. He's just, you can hear the muffled screams as he is buried alive, and then the tunnel's flooded.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it. She's like
a lullaby.
It is. It's more like a dinner bell. He's like.
But would he just regenerate and drown forever, though? Probably.
Cool with that.
Like drowning Wolverine.
Right.
He punched her in the face. She's like, okay. Okay.
It's like worse than death. He's just trapped there forever.
Right.
60 feet underground, drowning.
She'll
Do you
come
want
back
to
for
bite
him
on either
later.
end?
He'll be nice and waterlogged like a Vienna sausage.
Right.
We could both chew on him. That would be fun.
The entire river is gonna be like tasting like strangely processed meat.
Right. Yeah, their meat tastes right, or doesn't taste right. It's all foamy. There's one of them comes out of the undergrowth to attack Ellie, but misses with both his attacks. And then let's see, the other 2, what are they gonna do? Because I'm thinking at this point, like those of them in the fort that were attempting to fire, the cover is so much that they can't really get good attack from here. So there's 1 hit, 1 miss. Unfortunately, it looks like Ellie is being surrounded, and that did not result in a lot of hits. But she has 3 of them on her. 1 of them hit, and that is going to be 7 slashing, 2 psychic.
Ellie is down.
Oh no!
No.
Ellie falls.
I thought you said you were okay.
12 points was okay, but then 12 went into 6, and 6 minus this damage.
I thought you were 12 points from max, not like 12
Oh, no.
points from minimum. You said 12 points from max, and I was like, oh, well, she should be fine then.
Then math happened.
Ellie falls in battle.
No.
Face palms again.
Oh no.
Hey.
Let's
Glares
see.
over at Gildan.
Somehow it's his fault.
This is all his fault.
I mean, it kind of is, yeah.
Of course it is. Yeah. He's not here to defend himself, so.
Therefore it is, yeah.
He instigated this. This is the result of that instigation. This is why we don't instigate things.
Right.
Never do anything.
So those things happen. You're not really sure what else is going on, but my characters took some actions. Icky, it's your turn.
Are any of the servitors in the river, like is the undergrowth, like how close are they to the river where I am currently?
You can maybe see that some of them are close, like on the opposite bank, but all of the ones that are on the near bank where you're at, they're further up the hillside and in melee range with the rest of the party.
Gosh darn.
They're about 40 feet from you.
Yeah, but it's like, how close is the closest one?
We'll call it. You want exact? You want like a to the centimeter or something?
No, just general. Fine.
Just general. You can move there. You can use a move to get there if you
Okay.
want to get to one.
Can I use a move to get there? Can I grab one and drag it back into the water like a crocodile?
That'd take 2 moves. You could do it, but you might leave yourself open to a counterattack.
I will hold that action then until one gets close enough to the water.
Okay.
The moment one's like feet in the water, Icky's ready for it because she doesn't know Ellie's unconscious. So
Right. Now you can sort of sense like and see that on the opposite bank, if you swam over there, you'd have a much bigger array of targets that you could drag off into the water. They're much closer to the water's edge.
yeah, could I get one of those and try and drag them into the water with me?
Next round, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
As soon as one is close enough and dips his little legs in the water, ready.
Gotcha. Icky's ready to strike. Ellie. It's now or never.
It's now or never.
Come
It
on,
said-
20.
You got a 2.
Oh, fuck.
We're starting this off great. Oh, great.
It's good times.
Neo.
Yeah. Could have been worse.
Trying.
God,
Could've been
if only
worse.
we had a cleric.
Gosh.
Only had a
Right.
cleric.
It's okay. Everyone's gonna owe me their lives.
Right. You
And
guys
Mer will
only have like
definitely be sure to remind them of all of that. At some
I'd rather open Wilden.
so quick raising hands. How many of y'all have cure wounds?
Prepared.
I thought Icky did.
He has lesser at restoration.
Oh, that's right. Less restoration.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does Baloo have cure wounds prepared?
Blue has even given up good berries for the day.
Oh my god.
He's
What
without
all
heals.
offense.
Hey guys.
All oh, how you doing, Mer? Do you have it?
How many teeth to heal
All right.
Ellie?
So Ellie is down, guys. Her precious human blood is soaked
my
into
God.
the sands
I know
of
that's
the.
very valuable.
We can't let
very
this happen.
valuable.
We could
Yeah.
This is why I wanted to be within range of Ellie. I was purposefully moved closer to her.
You're very close to her. You're right there.
Mhm.
Baloo.
Blue's gonna just like stick his little alligator face up. Does he see anybody?
You see up the hill 3 of the servitors surrounding the body of Ellie, Mer close by, and some drow you have never seen before at all with a giant gun, who appears to be fighting on your side.
Yeah, drow are allies. So.
Right. That's what you see
You're
as you keep
welcome.
your head up. Right. Thank you.
So like they're all around Ellie. I'm not gonna hit Ellie with a lightning bolt, although she's already on her way.
You know how to. I mean, you know.
I can, yeah.
Is
I
it
can,
bad I considered shattering all the enemies? Like, chill. Another death save. I can get her.
Yeah, she's got another death save. She's good.
What's a
then
little
you do
metagaming
it.
between friends?
And then I can get it, and I'll be fine.
Can
I'll
I
get her
get
up
2
next
of
turn.
them at once, June?
Yeah, you can get 2 of them at once.
I love it. Give me some dex saves. I'm gonna just. I'm just gonna hit him with lightning right from the water.
Double 8s.
Double 8s. My friend, would you like to take 21 damage?
I'll take it.
Just for you.
21. I have lost way count of who all is doing what here. 21.
I'm a happy alligator thing. Pokemon.
Are you Schnappy, das kleine Krokodil?
I don't know. I'm actually going to do some brainstorming and come up with a new Pokemon right now. I want him to be.
2 of them take the full force of Baloo's Call Lightning as it smashes down from the sky into the ground. Are you doing anything else, Baloo?
No, it's best that I stay in the water.
All right, best that you stay in the water. And there's cover in the water because of the plant growth.
Good spell. Good spell.
That's a good spell. That was a good call. NPCs. Damn fine spell. Hag Puppet, rolling that 2. No good. Kellerall. Kellerall manages to actually hit some shit this go around. And my D8s. That's actually pretty good for Kelrol. So Kelrol fires 2 arrows down a hill, and one of the ones that's on Ellie that was just struck by the lightning bolt falls, and another one is severely injured. So that means it's Mikhail's turn. Enemies continue to fall as the fight gets rather desperate. There are now 2 enemies remaining in immediate melee range of Ellie and Myrrh, as well as an unknown number back at the fort who have appeared to have stopped firing for now. Kale, it's your turn.
How far away? They were about 10 feet away from me?
Yeah.
Takes that to get out, so it'd take 20 feet to get out, 10 feet to get over there. Okay. Cursing in some other language, you're not really sure unless you speak Draconic. Mikhail only curses in Draconic. He kind of like throws...
It's okay, I only talk behind the party's back at this, so I'm never alive.
He reloads his rifle as he's coming out of the underbrush and pulls like a small device off of it and runs up to Ellie and just like looks at Myrrh, like, that'll be worth it. And he casts Cure Wounds. You get 8 back.
Yeah. Sweet.
She's a very rare creature. She's very valuable.
And then he's like pulling his gun up to not really use it.
Or have it out.
Yeah, just have it out.
Have it out. Excellent. Myrrh.
All right. Well, there's these guys, and you know what? I still have some inspiration. I'm gonna go psychic blades them again with their swords because that's funny. Natural 20.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That doubles the psychic blades too. I need 66.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be alive for very long. This is a lot of dice.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we're gonna start off with 12 plus 3, 15 points of piercing damage. Then 10, 18, 24, 28 points of psychic damage.
Yeah, that's how does Myrrh take this guy out?
Well, you know, he's kind of pissed her off by, you know, marring the very valuable human in the group. So she's just gonna split him, just balls up, just with this blade. And it stops in his brain. She's kind of like twists it and then slides him off the sword. Looks at the other one like, you want some of this?
Yeah, the other one looks, you can't really see it, right? They've got these sort of like red glass eyes and a form-fitting scale armor that covers them. And
I might be able to feel the fear emanating off of him. It's like my favorite flavor.
You can feel the hesitation as now there's 3 of you.
And I'm standing
3-on-1
between Ellie and him too.
Okay. The tables have turned. Nice. Very good. My turn. Let's see. This guy. The other's on the other side. Let's see here. He is going to disappear. And you don't know where he goes. And that's all that happens right now. Icky, it's your turn.
Because this fight's taking too long. They're calling the pyramid, y'all.
Icky's gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say like she had her like eyes poking up above the water when Baloo did, and seeing him disappear, she's gonna go ahead and rejoin the party. Just swim over there and rejoin the party.
Okay. Yeah, you can actually Icky would see something different because you were kind of swimming to get in a position to pull some others below.
Okay.
You actually see them 3 of the flying chariots leave the fort as you are from where you're at. Everyone else, the underbrush and everything is too in the way.
In that case, if she's near enough to rejoin the party, then she will do that and relay what she saw.
Okay.
And also kind of give a look to Mikhail. It's kind of like, bitch, you fucking see that?
I was too busy saving a
Yeah.
friend.
She'll also, if she has enough action to do it, she'll also pick up Ellie off the ground.
It'll take all your action to get to where they're at.
That's
She'd have
fine.
to like double move.
Then she'll
dash over there.
she'll just like hang out by Ellie and
Okay.
only by Ellie.
Gotcha. For now, we're dropped out of combat. Josh, how long does the plant growth last?
Pangol's permanent. Like it's just
Oh, shit.
It happens and it stays.
Yeah, it's a instantaneous duration. I do have 9 minutes left on my call lightning. If I think there's somebody else in the tower, I'm gonna now.
What's the range? What's the range on your? What's the range on it?
120 feet.
The 3 that are escaping on the flying chariots are in range.
Yeah. Dex saves.
They're within range of my gun too.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
within range of my bow.
Okay.
So I can shoot at them.
I'm
Or
gonna
They'll be,
say-
you guys, you can get 1 round of attacks on them, provided that nothing catastrophic happens.
I think we're gonna use some psychic blades.
Right.
Just
Dex
works
save.
so well.
Actually, both of mine passed their dex saves.
Okay.
They are good at dex saves.
They're only going to take 3 lightning damage.
Okay.
I doubt that's going to knock them off their bikes.
Might.
It's the bikes too, I guess, technically.
Yeah, it would hit the
Yeah.
bikes as well.
Mhm.
Brian.
Actually,
If the bikes don't get a save, they take the full set of damage.
yeah, the bikes don't really save. So call lightning kind of hits in the middle and gets 2 of them. Let's see what Mikhail and Mur have done before we sort of describe the scene.
Yeah, he draws up a bead and he just says, "The one on the right," and shoots. And I got a 21 to hit. That's going to be 22 damage.
22. That one, it's well, I'll finish. What does Mur do?
So all 3 of them are still alive.
It looks like, yeah. The one on the right took some severe damage. One of them was hit by the call lightning, and another one has seemingly escaped unscathed.
Escaped unscathed. Yeah, I guess I'll shoot at the one that's been pretty badly injured.
Okay.
Use the dice Grant gave me because he's not here. Oh, well, that's it. 18 plus 6, that's 24.
Oh yeah.
And then that's psychic blade, so. Oh, well, hello. Almost max damage.
Nice.
That's 11 points of piercing damage, and then 15 points of psychic damage. He did, hopefully.
Yeah. So the 3 of them exit the fort. They're running away. Lightning strikes kind of right 2 of them. One of them kind of like wobbles off, but stays on its flying chariot. The other one gets hit, falls off. And then both Mikhail and Mur's attacks hit it near simultaneously, and you can just, there's nothing. You see like a crashed flying chariot and one of them on the ground. Justin, the DM, appreciate the cheer. Thank you very much.
Is any of them still within 320 feet?
Ooh, well, there will be 2 of them still within 320 feet.
Because I'm willing to shoot at this range.
Anybody else have range on that?
I have 500 feet of range.
Jeez.
So-
Okay. Yeah, they'll be like behind cover by next round.
Okay.
You can go ahead and make 2 more shots.
Okay. In that case, you will...
What's everybody else doing while Mur and while the 2 drow like take pot shots?
Can I get closer?
Cal
Like-
could shoot too.
Could I swim 30 feet to get a little
Yes.
closer?
So 15 hits, yes?
Did I? AC 16. If I said 15 hits, then we'll go with 15 then.
Oh, okay.
I think I might have mistaken myself earlier.
That's
That's fine.
If there's any I can reach, deck saves, Jim.
They're no longer clumped together. But it failed its save.
At a natural 20, but we're rolling at disadvantage, so instead it'll be 16.
20
Which-
damage, Jim.
Just hits, so. And I'm not psychic blading this one, because no. Oh, but that's 10 points of piercing damage, so.
10 points of piercing,
Mhm.
and Josh, you said you had 20 damage.
20 damage, yeah. I like Call Lightning.
Call Lightning's
Yeah,
a
right.
great spell.
It's
Great spell.
fantastic.
So, as everyone kind of recuperates and starts to recover from the battle.
Call me artillery.
There is the remaining two of them. One of them, seemingly very injured, dart behind a large rocky outcropping as they attempt to escape your attacks. And the sort of the deafening sound of the last minute or so of furious action as all the guns were going off and the lightnings and the thunder shatter spells settles. You find yourselves facing an empty fort and seemingly no opposition.
Any regenerating corpses I see, I'm gonna viciously mock them because I have a feeling they don't like psychic damage very much. Or I'm just gonna walk by with the sword that I have and just stab them.
Yeah, it looks like there were two of them that were still sort of regenerating, and they had yet to really recover.
Mm-hmm.
And stab. Mur takes care of those. How about everybody else?
Taking care of business.
Icky's gonna take some time to dress Ellie's wounds.
Okay.
And if she can't walk on her own, then she'll pick her up and drape her across her back.
Because Ellie's got both wounded and exhaustion from the frenzy. So yeah.
Oh well, if she's exhausted too, then Icky will do a lesser restoration as she's bandaging up her wounds.
Jim. I'm gonna just, as a crocodile, I'm just gonna walk up the bank towards the tower, see if there's anybody in it. Just moseying with Croc. That's what I'm gonna do.
Up to the tower. Yeah, so you're entering into the border fort there. It appears empty.
Damn.
There's a shattered tower, and that seems to be it.
I'm gonna call lightning one more time before I stop it, just for fun.
Just for funsies.
I'm gonna hit some other structure. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be here.
Blue calls lightning again.
It doesn't belong in this
I
land.
roll my eyes.
Yeah.
That one has a lot of anger.
Yes.
Very much.
I like, yes.
Icky is binding Ellie's wounds, and then Kelrol and Memnon have come out of hiding.
Yes, I know you have 2 Memnons.
Right. 2
They
of
last
you.
for an hour.
Oh,
But I think they're probably not coming back. So I'm gonna drop it.
Yeah.
And come back to my tiefling self.
Okay.
Icky's gonna look around and be like, "Where is Gildan?"
Gildan does not seem to be anywhere.
What a dill pickle he is.
I'd say we just leave him at this point. We've tried very hard.
Below the crocodile.
Considering the state of Ellie, Icky is inclined to agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How is Ellie looking now? She's 8 hit points.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
Put my hands on you.
I'm gonna give you like a little shoulder rub, but I'm casting Cure Wounds
This feels
on
good.
you.
Thank you.
do some deep tissue massage.
Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. You get 11 points.
Ooh.
There we go.
Icky immediately drops Ellie.
Oh, thank you.
Good, you can walk.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate it. And she just sits down on the floor.
Yeah. So y'all are on a grassy hillside. There's plenty of shade. It's actually quite pleasant here.
You're welcome.
Now, both Mur and Baloo know that this vegetation is the landscape cannot support it. So this vegetation is, will eventually die out. But for now, it provides relief and shade. And as you sort of like take stock of the situation and rest up after the fight. So give me an idea of what y'all's next move is and what you're doing right now.
Well, I suppose I'll look for Gildon tracks or Hag Puppet tracks, whatever. Little goblin blood splatters, smushed
Yeah.
Gildon, whatever.
Icky will assist Mur in looking for
Okay.
those tracks, especially because Gildan currently has Skitter Step with him.
Oh, yeah.
Also pass without trace.
So Yeah,
Yeah.
but Skitter Step will know to.
Would
at
you
least-
prefer to Mur assist you?
Yeah, sure.
Mur is better support.
Yeah.
So she'll
Oh, yeah,
she'll
yeah.
just kind of walk behind you.
Is this going to be is it a survival check? Or...
Survival. Yeah, survival.
Yes, awesome. Oh, yes. Oh, man, today is great. That's a 22.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So you don't really find any tracks, but in the dust about some ways down, you see written the following in like the wasteland common in the dust. Seek the tree of the wise, find the woman's suitor, obey the eye.
Now, when he says woman suitor,
You're gonna have to ask Gildan what he means.
what did that say again exactly?
I put it in the backstage
Okay, I'm gonna
chat.
write that in my notes.
Yeah. It's this very
Next to my face palm.
If he sees this, she's like, I hate this. I hate him.
I agree as well. I feel like this is a riddle we do not have time for, and we should just leave.
We should eat him. And then she remembers that Skitter Step is with him.
Maybe he will eat him, and we can find him later. Skitterstep will get hungry eventually.
Blue's gonna walk up and open his alligator mouth open, just like he's aghast. I'm just gonna leave it open.
Are you hungry? What is? I do not speak crocodile.
Yeah.
I'll put like ration in your mouth.
He'll eat it. Yeah, it's very nice. He would also accept healing
Just
potions,
annoyed.
but he doesn't know how to tell you that.
Oh, the woman's suitor. Maybe it's a customer. I don't know.
Possible. Like I said, you'll have to ask Gildan.
Oh yeah,
what
we
it
still need to
means.
make that chart. We still need to make that chart.
Icky just kind of looks at
Yes.
Baloo like, this is your fault. He takes after you.
Blue shuts his mouth and starts to saunter off.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, my rudeness. The name is Mer Valentine, and you are. And she's gonna go over to the gun dealing guy that got Ellie up. She'll acknowledge him. You know, he's a drow.
Mikhail, he's now like kind of. He had like maybe like a bandana around his head, you know, just out in the sun. But now we're in the shade. He takes it off and he's wiping his gun down. He's got kind of like a ring, like he's like a. Once you get closer, you can tell he's like an older drow. So he's kind of like he's balding. And
Older just means more experienced.
Exactly. Yes, I have much experience. And so he's got kind of a ring of hair, and you see like a birthmark on his forehead that's like the same color as his red eyes. And you know, he's just decked out like he's got like a long leather jacket with little studs and bones and protrusions sticking out. And he's at this moment he pulls a bag out of another bag, and he's pulling ammo out and reloading his little his ammo belt. Yes, you look like you needed help, and I figured we could work well together, yeah?
It was appreciated. I associate closely with the Tekendar family of drow.
Oh.
Where are you from?
I am from all over. I am no family. I wander the wasteland, and I find what I can. I keep some, I sell the rest. You know the racket.
I do. She'll hand you a business card.
Oh,
Says, my business is your pleasure. And it's got like the sexy pinup, like with both like the horns and the tail in the background.
Oh, very nice. And he pulls out like a scrap of metal that has some like words in common etched in it, and it just says Wasteland Oddities Reclamation Guild. We have what you want.
Oh, nice.
And he hands that over, and he's like, "Yes, if you need something looked at or appraised, I can do it."
I'm writing that down. Wasteland Oddities Reclamation Guild. Oh, the WORG. Warg. Yes, what was Warg?
Worthy, I will sell it.
Hey, thank you for saving me. I think that's what they said. I didn't really see.
It is no problem. You owe me one.
One what?
Well, perhaps I will need saving, and you can save me.
Okay. that sounds good. Also, can I get one of those? And I point at your gun.
Oh, you want? I could build you one, if you want.
Yes.
It will take time and resources. I don't suppose you've seen a little goblin, or excuse me, kobold.
I was about to say, if you said goblin, she was just gonna be like, not
Not
you.
again.
I was thinking about Gilbert.
I don't suppose you have seen small kobolds, kind of a funny armor. He was in a skiff week back.
Ah,
He has been disappeared. He is my friend, associate.
well,
I've been looking for him.
I believe I'm familiar with the person who sold him said skiff, but I have not seen him since then.
I have been tracking him. I saw y'all going the same direction.
Oh, was
So I
he going
follow.
this direction? That is interesting. She's like, did the ship take over his brain and is leading him back towards the pyramid with news of what he saw? Like Mur is just like,
Paranoid.
yeah. I mean, you don't live in the 9 Hells for 10 years without getting a little paranoia.
Yeah. That's very true. Very true.
It's healthy.
So you guys are basically taking a short rest here.
I get all
in
my
the
bardic inspiration back. Look at that.
Sweet. In the shade of the overgrown grove here. What's y'all's? You have an idea of your next move? What it is that you're considering?
Well, I have no idea what Tree of the Wise means. If we are to find Gildon and Skitterstep, maybe they means the Great Tree. But last we saw it was on fire, I believe.
I think the last time you saw it when it was
I do have
being
my
attacked.
telescope. Yeah.
Yeah, when you looked at it actually
Spyglass.
earlier, there were marks on it as if it had been attacked.
Okay.
But the tree itself was still standing, and there was actually a fan of tents just on the north side of the tree, where there's normally nothing. Normally, no one's allowed to like live or reside near there. But that's what you saw that's what you see whenever you look through the spyglass at it.
All right. Oh, we were able to get a vantage point of the pyramid over
Correct.
a nearby hill. What Mur is going to do then, because she's really paranoid about those two that got away, and we spent enough time rolling hit dice. Oh, I should roll a hit dice.
Yeah, I used up almost all.
I'm gonna get because there's a bunch of nature here now. Can I find like a large leaf?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna get the large leaf. I'm gonna like belly crawl up to the top of the hill, walk up and then lay low, hold the leaf over the end of the spyglass so that the sun doesn't glint off of it.
Right.
And I'm gonna look at the pyramid.
Okay.
Nice.
Training your spyglass on the pyramid, it's still a ways away, right? Like there's a good, let me see, where's my map? There's still a good bit of distance between the two from where
Do
you're
I
at.
see two little dust trails making their way there?
You do see two little dust trails. They seem to be like skirting the edges of the yellow wastes, which are kind of to the south of here. So there's like a bunch of hills and then some grassland, and then it very quickly becomes sandy desert. And so they're kind of like skirting that sandy grassland that's on the border there. Looking towards Trade Town and the pyramid, it appears as though the pyramid has not left the opposite shore of Trade Town.
Okay.
And instead, what you see are what maybe skiffs, like the larger flying ones, coming in and out of the pyramid, going back into Trade Town, and it definitely looks as though Trade Town is occupied, as you see multiple skiffs and smaller craft flying in and around the city.
Okay, I'll get back down. I didn't have to happen to see a little green goblin or a hag puppet anywhere with my spyglass, did I?
Make me a perception test.
Can Icky go up there and also assist her in what to look for, since he has Skitterstep with her?
Yep.
Then Icky will be assisting while she's looking for Gildan.
Excellent. Well, that's good. Perception?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. That is
perception.
going to be an 18.
All Nice. You see him. He's away, but is marching on the far side of the bank, southeast. He's made quite good time from where he was.
He's lucky I don't have Dimension Door right now.
Right. And but it looks like he's not just making a beeline for Trade Town, but is also not making any attempt to conceal his movements.
I give a long, hard face palm. Look over at Iki and say, I believe he has a death wish. She'll hand up to the spyglass and point him out.
Yeah, Icky will look through the spyglass, which is super awkward because they are not made for large lizard heads. But she'll make
I'll hold it for her. She just got to put her eye up to it.
Yeah, and she just
yeah.
I can find another giant centipede.
Oh.
There are many steps. This was the 14th. It's fine.
Wow.
Skitter Step the 14th. I had no idea.
But I loved Skitter Step.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you will love Skitter Step the 15th as well.
He can't count, so it doesn't matter what number he is. He's not the first.
So there's that's what you see. So Icky's, you're looking to see just sort of like, yes, in fact, I think Skitter Step probably stayed with Gildan, if only because the two of them are kind of pals, and I feel like that's a good incentive to get you to go after him.
Yeah, he's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
If I didn't know that would be the case, I would not have brought it up. But I was like, oh god damn it,
Gildan.
Everyone's just like, bye, Gildan.
The tune to another creature.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of work, man.
That's true.
We're gonna be like, we came here to save Skitter Step.
She just takes the centipede and leaves.
So how about Baloo and Ellie as y'all are taking the short rest?
Well, I was feeding Baloo.
Yes.
But
Baloo the crocodile stayed Baloo the crocodile while he was healing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although Jim, I'm wondering how you said they were like land striders, right?
There are, yeah.
Do you think I could wild shape into one of those? And if so, how many people can that carry?
I would say probably not just yet. What's the max CR for wild
half
shape into?
right now.
Oh, have you have?
Yeah, because I'm not Moon. Moon's the one where you get all the cool shapes early.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I mean, maybe you'll eventually be able to, but
okay,
you can't really turn anything that big yet.
Okay.
Let's see.
Are there any speeders left here? Like, was there more speeders than people left alive, or
we did hit some with lightning?
I don't know. Have y'all?
Yeah,
y'all haven't really checked out the fort yet.
I feel like we should check out the fort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we move on.
We
know where Gildan's going.
Right.
Yeah.
That's very true.
On the way there, I think Ellie would try to find her great axes and some daggers. If not, she'll probably grab whatever else is there.
Your two hand axes that you threw are still are with the they're just down the hill. The dagger is lost, although unless one of the swimmers in the party wants to go dredge the river for it.
Then I would just loot some bodies.
Okay.
More weapons.
Nice. They have those sabers as well as they have a gun that's not dissimilar to McHale's. It's not as impressive. They seem more. They just seem slimmer. But there's how many of them around here?
Size matters
it's
not.
Not as girthy.
Right. Less girthy.
It's still
less
could pack a
knobbly
punch.
as well.
It's a thin gun.
It's how you use it.
It's not as life
Sure.
Yes. It's very
How
true.
many were there?
There's 5.
Okay, so Ellie's gonna attempt to grab all of them, unless somebody stops her.
Macau would have grabbed one of them.
Oh, I will hold on to some of them for you if you like. I have a rather large bag to hold things in.
We are gonna win everything, and we can't be defeated because my hand axes failed me. I still like them.
Yeah, Icky would also like to loot, but she's only looking for the metal shards and teeth.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of those, and like peeling off their armor is, it's the same as it's always been. It seems attached to them somehow, and they're like gooey on the inside, right? Like there's an oily
but now she knows
something.
she can get those little metal discs that Mer likes.
Yes. Oh, they're covered in them. They just wear them on their outside.
Yeah. She thinks it's awesome. She's going to take as many as she can possibly get.
There's a lot.
That's adorable.
You were able to find 5 bodies, or sorry, not 5 bodies. You were able to find the gear of 5.
There are some bodies, but the ones I stabbied.
There are 3 that you can find. You're not clear where the others went, or what exactly they're difficult to track given that they can teleport. But you are able to loot a great number of them as you sort of like make your way into the fort and see what else is in there. So the fort is kind of, you've been here before. There was a watchtower. There are several tents kind of around it. A large longhouse, which you're not sure, you never went in there before. You're not sure what's in there now. And then a large hut that's next to the docks, which is where there was like a place to sit and drink and take a load off. One of the flying chariots is about 100-ish feet outside of the fort. That's the one that first one that you downed. And its engine is still thrumming with a power that's painful to be around, right? That is what you see immediately as you move into the fort.
All right. I want to look around in the fort. I want to see if they left anything in. Oh, I'm gonna ritually cast detect magic and run around in here.
Okay. That's what Mer's up to. How about everybody else?
Mikhail, all he saw was them disappearing, so he like messes with like an attachment on his gun and like fills it up with something and like clicks a light on, and like a even in the daylight you can see kind of a light blue like beam go out to like 30 feet, and he just has it out like walking around like.
Okay.
What is that?
Oh, it shows that which cannot be seen normally. So they
Good
cannot
to know.
be visible.
That is very good to know that you can do that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
In case any deviant would just run around invisible.
Oh.
Yes, we cannot trust people who do this. Yeah.
You definitely cannot. Big like pointy tooth smile.
Yeah.
So where did you find the human?
Oh, very rare, is it not? She actually found us, and we are keeping her.
Yes, you should. She is quickly profitable.
Very valuable, yes.
She's our favorite.
I have only read about them in books.
Extraordinarily rare.
Wait, are you guys gonna sell me?
No!
He doesn't know why, but
You-
this conversation really bothers her.
No, it's knowing what is worth, so people will try to take.
Yes, we must, because she is so valuable, others will try to steal her, and we must not allow that to happen.
At least like 500 chits you could get for her.
And then he like,
And I imagine that's in Elvish, because,
Yeah.
we're both like yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, definitely.
just kind of whispers that,
That's for the best.
Right.
and then
Oh, I could
Mikhail,
get at least 2,000 for her.
No, you know better. We need to talk.
She's the last resort. I feel she's more valuable alive than dead. That's, she is a female.
At least just like
Back and forth.
Just in
Yeah.
Elvish, she is a
But-
female.
but Mikhail will eventually go
If
to
we
that.
if we find a half human, then that would be at least a 3/4 human,
Let's go. You could pass it off. Yes.
Exactly.
Wow. This is
Savage.
DM's wondering if there's even going to be a party next week.
But Mikhail will go to the one that's outside the fort, the chariot, and he'll try to maneuver it back in. He's seen these from a distance.
A distance before, yeah.
We'll just
messed
yell at
with
him how to
many-
drive it
Yeah, he's
while I
messed with
search
many
for magic
oddities
things.
in the wild, so he thinks he can maybe figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm really good at driving those.
Yes. Yeah, you figure it out. In a non-combat situation, you don't need to make any rolls or anything. And once you get inside, like Memnon knows how to operate them very well and can show you the basics of it. Inside the fort, it looks like they hadn't been here that long, and you don't see signs of like violence or anything like that. There's no bodies that you find or anything, but it did look like that they had taken over entirely. Now give me an idea of where you're searching in the fort. I know that Mur has finished casting her detect magic. Mikhail has a sort of a revealing beam that he's training about. How about the rest of the group?
Yeah, I'm like metal detectoring, but for magic items. I'm just kind of like walking along.
Everybody else.
Blue has given up being useful as a druid.
Oh, no.
He's now so he's just walking around as a crocodile, just seeing what he can see on low level. Maybe he sees something different.
Okay.
That's what he's doing. Just looking around for interesting things. Possibly a snack at this point. Maybe after like the hour mark, he starts to think like a crocodile.
Sure.
A crocagator, you know?
Looking for a snack.
Let's go back to the water.
I think Ellie would just be kind of following aimlessly, but also thinking deeply about maybe if she is worth something, like of value, like money.
Okay.
Be very pensive, like, what does that mean?
We all have worth. You just have to find it.
Yeah, yep, that's just playing in my head.
How about Icky?
Icky is kind of like, at first she was a little emotionally torn because she was going to look for her cash, but now she doesn't want to be too far away from Ellie, who clearly can't stay conscious for more than a day. So she's gonna kind of walk beside Ellie as like near as is like comfortable for the two of them, and then she'll like look over at Ellie, who seems deep in thought, and just say like, I don't like him, he stinks. Not like Mur stink.
No, mine's a lot more sulfur. Brimstone.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all she'll say. She doesn't know how to like have a conversation with regular people. So she's like, yes, this conversation is over.
Very Tyler.
Successful.
Yeah, very stressful. Your efforts to search the place, and are you guys? I'm assuming you guys are just taking your time to look over everything. Let's see what's going on here real quick.
Got my magic item sonar on.
Magic item sonar on.
And looking,
Both. Your magic.
Well, I'm totally also pinging our new drow companion, Mikhail. Why not?
Magic items.
Yeah.
You're picking up strong magical a magical aura from the longhouse that's in the fort.
Well, gotta go in there. I'll be a neat little stealthy though when first entering, just to make sure, like, in case someone's there, they don't get the jump on me.
Right.
I get the jump on them.
Give me a stealth roll then.
All right, yeah. Yes. Oh, well, that's really great. So that's going to be a 23.
23.
Yeah, real stealthy.
Mur moves into the longhouse, and it's sort of like one of the narrow ends of it is just like a set of double doors that's open up. There's a smaller door on the northern long edge as well. Which one of the two do you try to go in?
If one seems to have been more used, I'd probably go in that one.
Looks like the double doors.
Because it's less likely to be trapped. So I'll go through that one.
Okay. You're picking up a strong magical aura from somewhere in here, but the longhouse looks empty. There are some like crates and boxes, like maybe some ceramic vessels and stuff in here, just like trade goods and the like that get stored here.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
to get stronger. I'm like,
Mur bonks her head on something as she walks right into it.
Invisible. You know what? So it's like something's there, but it's not there. Like it's invisible. I'm gonna dispel magic.
Okay.
I have that spell.
Myr, there's a moment as your dispel magic goes off and a thing is revealed in front of you. It doesn't quite look like the skiff that it doesn't really look like the skiff that you were on before. It's not metal and shiny and sort of like the others, but it does appear to be a more, I don't know how you put it, an artisanal skiff, handmade and crafted, kind of cobbled together, if you will, from spare parts.
Locally grown spare parts.
Locally grown, homegrown wasteland spare parts.
Organic.
Heirloom wasteland materials.
Heirloom.
Right.
Wasteland bits.
Organic. And that's what you see. It is much smaller than the others. It looks like maybe it can hold, as opposed to the others, which could hold like maybe 20 people. Like they're rather big. These look like they're fit comfortably more like 5 or 6.
Okay.
And the controls appear different as well.
Interesting. Does this look like the same craftsmanship? Like it's made by the same people, the servitors? Or does it look like someone else made this?
Looks like someone else made this.
Ooh, even better. I'm gonna play with it.
Okay. Whatever. The Myr has disappeared somewhere. What's everybody else up to?
Eventually, Mikhail would actually look for Myr and maybe like go into the longhouse.
I'm fondling this artisanal ship.
Right.
You,
there's
you want me to come back when you are done, no?
Oh no, this is fine.
What have you found?
Something pretty.
This I see. Well made.
Artisanally sourced.
Yes, this is
heirloom.
local, I think. Yes, organic, definitely.
Heirloom parts, for sure. And it is very magical.
So what is next step? My
Well,
little Heggy is not here. I feel he is either in Trade Town or at that monstrosity.
Oh, probably the monstrosity is most likely dead.
My heart weeps.
Does it?
Yes, I will drown it later in booze.
Oh. Have it your way.
There is a you guys have easily, like I said, this is like a short rest, so you guys have been, this is a whole hour that's passed between like resting in the shade and then checking out that. And it's later on in the day that the first of the Drow advanced scouts start arriving at the outpost. They arrive both by boat.
The Drow finally show up. I told you guys.
They finally did.
It was literally an hour.
From the
literally an hour.
You guys weren't that far ahead of them. There was a like they show up as advanced scouts in ones and twos on land and in small boats by the river, and then eventually it is the long boats that they arrive at in droves, and they sort of begin to set up a camp here on the edge of the Borderlands with the Fellowship, and start to just kind of like, you know, do the whole military thing of like forming a perimeter and setting up a command tent and that.
We cleared out the fort for you.
Oh, this would be Myr's cousin. Her name was.
Not tell it. Sabata.
Yeah, Sabata is there with the rest of the Tikendar contingent. And,
I look less than enthused.
yeah. Oh, if only you'd waited just a moment, we could have.
If only.
But thank you nonetheless, and the cover here is quite beneficial.
It will be here until it dies.
Excellent. And she just kind of like wants to be debriefed by Mer. Poor choice of words.
Yeah. Well,
That is not till later.
Right. But they begin to sort of
how
set up
close of a
here.
cousin is she?
I mean, second plus, it's okay.
This is quickly getting out of hand.
Okay.
And it's getting later in the day. You can choose to press on if you wish, and make it. You're traveling over land in the lands that the Fellowship controls is a much less taxing endeavor than through the wasteland. And other than needing to navigate the canals that crisscross the area, it's not nearly as difficult. So you could press on a bit longer.
I figure out how to work the thing.
Or you can, try to figure out how this thing works and do something else.
I'll assist Mer in that. I have knowledge of things such as this.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
picked
the two
up
of
on
you
everything
so-
pretty well so far. So, watch my luck run out with this thing.
Now you have advantage.
Mikhail and Mer begin to figure out how this thing works. Everyone else, are you going to stay here? Are you making preparations to leave?
I would probably go find some food that is safe to eat for our travels.
Mhm.
Because she wants to try all the foods that are out and about. Because apparently she's too thin, according to Icky.
Everyone. According to everyone.
Everyone's too thin, according to Icky. Don't feel bad.
But Mer's also like trying to
round
always get you to
legs.
eat too. She's like, you look a bit unwell.
All right. So Ellie is eating. There's stores of food here. It doesn't look like they've been touched at all.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't surprise me for some reason.
Yeah, but they are.
I haven't really seen Memnon eat much, have I?
No, not really.
No, I
He
haven't.
seems
Yeah,
to not
need food.
Yeah, he seems.
That's
to
what I
be
thought.
like that.
Can I inspect this food to see if it's safe?
Mhm.
Okay. Investigation?
Yeah, that sounds right. Investigation works.
13.
Seems safe enough. A lot of this is food that you've been eating for, since you began traveling in these lands. Most of it is actually here, given their proximity to the lands of the Fellowship. There are a lot of like fruits and vegetables that you found here, but there's also more wastelands fare like dried bugs and small lizards and reptiles and things that there are to eat.
Okay,
And
I'll probably grab a bunch of everything.
okay, Ellie comes back with a loaded up plate, ready to tuck in. As the drow begin to like make the fort the centerpiece of their camp, Sabata begins to set up her command tent inside the fort. The rest of them kind of take over until the whole area is just like crawling with drow soldiers. Mikhail and Mer, it doesn't take you too long to exactly figure this out. Now, Mikhail, this is not one of the craft that you have ever, this isn't one of yours or Heggie's. But you know that these kinds of things are frequently taken by the Fellowship. This might be, someone might be waiting on this in Trade Town for later or something. Who knows?
In times of war, you find, you keep, yes?
I thought that was always.
That's absolutely true.
If the person is there, you do not want to take it from
Oh
them.
no, that's why you make
Fine.
sure the person isn't there.
So you start a war first, and then
Exactly. Yes. Or if you don't want to go through the trouble of starting a war, you simply eliminate the person between
Well,
you and the
I-
object of your desire.
Exactly. War can just be two people.
Exactly.
A very intimate war.
Um,
They're either gonna bang or kill each other later. It's gonna be one of those.
It's really something's all this tension's gonna have to go somewhere.
That's how life goes.
Right. So I didn't get it. I don't think I got an answer last time. Are y'all preparing to travel right now, or are y'all
I'm
gonna
getting
stay
this
here?
thing ready to travel.
Okay,
Just in
traveling
case we gotta get out of here, I want to know how it works and how we can get out.
Okay.
Did Icky find Memnon?
Yeah,
She-
he's chilling.
I'd like for Icky to just kind of like awkwardly sit down next to Memnon which I assume that when she does, they're like almost eye to eye because he's so fucking frail.
Right.
But she just kind of like drapes her arms over her knees, and like this is like she's gearing up for a conversation, so he can go like see it in her face that she's like working herself up for like social contact with another person. And she just kind of like draws in a deep breath, and she just, why eat Gildan?
Excuse me?
He is small, stringy, he talks too much.
I don't want to eat him.
Why does your king want to eat Gildan?
I don't think that the master wishes to eat Gildan. I think he wishes to possess something that Gildan has.
Meat.
Visions. Something in his mind.
Brain meat?
Not meat. Power.
Gildan is small.
He is able to do an extraordinary thing. Travel other places in his dreams.
Sometimes he is pink.
I've noticed. I do not understand why.
And like in that moment, she actually kind of like, like she doesn't know either, and so it's like almost like a, he doesn't make any sense, like a connection. And she just like, and she kind of sits there. She's like, does this nod like good talk, and then she's like, will Gildan die?
I cannot be certain, but the master is... He can be quite cruel, and once he has gotten what he wants out of Gildan, then it's possible that he will kill Gildan.
As it should be. And then she like pokes his forehead, like, can he hear?
No.
Like an aquarium glass.
No, I severed my connection to the master. It was painful. But
He cannot see you?
he can no longer see me.
Why go back?
I'm afraid that I will never be free unless the master has been rid of. And my freedom is important to me now.
And she just like gets up and walks away because this conversation is now over. She has like no other questions. She just kind of like nods like really solemnly and just, good, I am hungry. Just like walks off, lumbers off.
Yeah. Memnon goes back to his, whatever it is that he does when you guys aren't talking to him. He has a sort of serenity and kind of seems to just exist. And there are times when like you look at Memnon and you're not quite sure if he's there with you, if you know what I mean. Like his gaze
Very
seems
introspective.
Very introspective. Our precious NPC here. So Myrrh and Mikhail, between the two of them, have figured out a bit about how this thing works. Now, it is not nearly as well put together or smooth as the skiff was that you rode in here on, which was...
Can't track it.
You just kind of would touch a thing and it would go. This one is more like wrestling with a beast than a smooth ride.
You have done this before, no?
Oh, many times.
You have strong grip, I can tell.
Yeah, it comes with practice.
I'm sure it comes after practice, too.
It does as well. You are very correct.
So are you all piling in here right now? It's almost sundown.
I would walk in with my big plate of food.
Okay.
And maybe offer some to Icky. She's hungry.
Icky has no self-control, so she will absolutely like bury her face into the food.
Oh, yeah, this all was for you.
Yeah, and then she'll like grab a handful of it and like hold it towards Ellie's face, just like real close. Good.
Okay.
Blue's been eating things in the river. He's gonna join the party.
Okay.
Back to normal.
I have
right.
I have drow nice food from the
Nice
place
drow.
I just pull it out of my bag.
Yeah, none of this bugs and lizards.
Not when I can.
Blue rejoins the party as Blue or still a crocodile? I forget, you only get 2 hours of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Gotcha.
that's Blue.
Okay. Baloo rejoins the party. Everyone's in the longhouse here, I believe.
Yeah. Ready to see what this thing is.
Okay.
Does this look like contraband? You know, back
It
from
does. It looks
That's
like the
very much contraband.
it looks like the kind of thing that, say, a wasteland trader who had it would like keep here because they know they can't bring it into the land. But the Fellowship is not going to be like, well, as long as you don't bring it in here, they'll let you fly out of here with it. So it's not uncommon that these places have this kind of thing kept.
Look what I've confiscated for the Fellowship, Baloo.
Yeah, no, for the Fellowship that we're both part of. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Why talk like that?
Which one of us?
What?
Both of you.
It
It is like you are saying something, but you are not saying something.
There's like 3 levels of subtext at all times.
That keeps life
Just like
interesting.
goes back to eating. She just thinks it was super weird.
She's like, they're making statements, but they are doing it with a weird tone.
Yeah, like the inflection is really strange.
It's like she spent so much time learning how to talk, and then people come along that don't talk like they're supposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
What is this sarcasm or?
What's wrong
Yes, we both are just love the Fellowship so much.
with it? Oh yeah.
Probably like when she hears it in that kind of tone, she would be like, "Are they making fun of me? Like, what is happening?"
Icky's really just a secret narcissist.
Doesn't
know what that is.
She's also like incredibly paranoid, so she's really just looking for a reason to eat her friends.
Yeah.
Murs is not the only paranoid one here.
Right. So yeah, you have a bootleg cobbled together sand skiff, which will get you places. You're not really sure. Yeah, Mikhail, you have an idea of how this works. There's a great many ways that you can create hovering or levitating or flying vessels. This one seems to work off of a rudimentary type of elemental magic, which means that if there is a spirit trapped in this thing that would prefer to be out, and so hence the difficulty in controlling it and the like.
Perhaps you know, and I tell them that, but perhaps you know it when you're done, you could free it and get it to do something for you, for its freedom. Just so you know.
Perhaps.
Something in this thing?
Yes, some form of spirit, either elemental, who knows? Probably fire. Maybe air.
I think if there's a fire elemental trapped in this thing, we should probably let it out.
Well,
Possibly, yeah.
Potentially.
It could be our friend. It could be my friend.
Elemental?
It's a being of pure energy, or earth, or water, or what have you.
But it has a will of its own.
So
Well.
he could kill us.
Or be our friend.
Yes, if you can speak elemental and can persuade it.
Damn, I can't.
Not yet.
No.
Yeah, no one speaks primordial or anything like that.
I speak some weird language. She doesn't know what language.
She doesn't know
but it's
which.
Draconic.
Oh, draconic.
Yeah.
What language?
I don't know what it's called.
Speak
it. And then she does, and it sounds like.
And Mikhail responds in the same language.
It is draconic. It is an ancient language of great beasts.
Oh my god! You understand me? And I it's still in Draconic.
Oh yes, yes. I have a book about it. If you'd like to read.
Yes.
You read, yes.
Yes.
make the words in your mind where you know what they say?
Can Ellie read?
I don't think Ellie can read. I think the only two people in the party that can read are Baloo and Myrrh.
Yeah.
we're the literate ones.
We're the literate ones.
Now you can learn it like any other tool proficiency.
Mhm.
It just takes time.
Yeah. But she's gonna lie and say yes.
Well, then he'll root around in his bag and like pull out like a few scraps of paper that are kind of bound together. It's like the histories of dragons or something, and it's written in Draconic.
Yeah, I've made copy. You can have, yes.
Thank you.
Nice. I mean, that's an important artifact.
Icky can understand everything they're saying because she also speaks Draconic, but she doesn't say anything. She just makes a mental note to talk to Ellie later.
Nice.
Mhm.
And after that, he'll actually go and give Icky a card, one of his cards, because he saw her scavenging things.
Mm-hmm.
If you need place to sell your wares, I know men with many teeth to sell, or chits, whatever you use for currency.
Icky just like watches him and like looks directly in his eyes and then swallows it.
At least it will always be with you.
And then he just turns on
At
heel.
least for the next several
Thank
hours.
you.
Yeah.
It's good. All right, you guys piling in this thing then?
Well, now that we have a drow barrier, perhaps we should rest for the night since we've been walking all day and then head out in the morning? Or are we going after Gildan and Skitterstep now?
Doesn't sound like anybody's itching to.
Like Baloo would like to, but
They are either dead or they are not dead.
Exactly. At this point,
that's true.
if he's not
they're
dead
just
now,
dead
then it's most
tomorrow.
likely he will not be dead by the time we get
There
around.
is a small gray area in between. Very small. So small.
They will be just as dead tomorrow.
True.
If he is
What-
dead, Lang does not eat his brain.
This is also true.
Very true. It's a harsh land out here in the wastes, and our the party is so allows Gildan to continue to walk towards Trade Town, seeking shelter that evening in the Drow camp, which are of course free to do. There is no further disturbances. A couple of times the perimeter guards spot things in the distance, but there's no fighting or anything like that. And the night passes in the Drow camp uneventfully. You all gain your long rests.
Spell slots, yes.
Spell slots back.
Spell slots get.
Let's see here real quick. And so the sun breaks nice and early. The first of the suns crests the morning horizon quite early, and the party wakes up and has a new day ahead of them.
Shall we take it for a spin?
Yeah, we should try to find Gildan.
We are, yes, we are still very much looking for Gildan. As we all remembered, he is still missing.
Yes,
Come on, Mer.
everybody remembers he's still missing.
And
Mur was kind of hoping that the people who wanted to look for Gildan would have forgotten over the night, but they didn't. So.
No. What was everybody else thinking?
Ellie's ready to go.
Yeah,
Ellie's ready to go.
yeah. Baloo's ready to go.
Okay. Are you headed straight to Trade Town, or are you going to the Great Tree?
I want to, before we leave, I want to pull up my spyglass again and check out the Great Tree.
I was just about to say that.
Okay.
We're thinkers.
Mhm. Looking at the Great Tree again this morning, and like spending some time looking at it, you could see that
Do I
a
see
large.
a Gildan?
There's no Gildan. You are, in fact, you can spend a while looking, and there's no Gildan. You do see a lot of activity from the servitors between you and the pyramid. It looks like they are heavily patrolling that area, and
Wonder why.
Who knew? But Trade Town not Trade Town. The Great Tree seems to be a hive of activity as well. There are a like I said, a bunch of tents and everything. But this morning, you can see a lot of folks milling about. Now, the distance that you're at, it's really difficult to make out details. But you can see some small figures in the great distance that might be members of the Fellowship. Of course, the Great Tree is where the kind of the leaders, the hierarchs of the Fellowship dwelt. And I think I mentioned previously that those of you who are like residents of this area know that this is not the first time that a group of big old raiders has come and tangled with the Fellowship and Trade Town. So that's kind of the context for where y'all are at. Looks like there's a lot of activity at the Great Tree, and that between you and Trade Town, it is swarming with enemies on patrol.
Well, perhaps we should head towards the Great Tree, since in his very cryptic, not at all very helpful note that I assume he left, he mentioned something about seek out the Tree of the Wise.
Okay.
That is a large tree.
Yeah. It is a large tree, and I do not believe he thinks the Fellowship wise. I believe he only thinks his hag mentor is wise. I do think that could possibly be the tree he's referring to.
Yeah. It's the place to start.
Maybe we should loop around to try to avoid as many patrols as possible.
Yes, circumnavigate.
Okay.
How fast does this puppy go?
We don't know yet. So you take it out.
It's like a people mover. It's just
it's just like a slow crawl.
I'm turning into a Dionychus and running, if that's the case.
All right. But so the party takes this sand skiff, this levitating sand skiff, out of the longhouse that it's in, and like I said, between Myrrh and Mikhail, you think you have a good idea of how this thing works and what you need to do to get it to move, which means I will give you advantage on your rolls to operate this thing. You are looking to skirt the enemy patrols that are between where you're at and Trade Town, and go sort of a northern route towards the Great Tree. You'll get there probably, if this thing is as fast as others of the type that you've seen, you'll definitely get there before sundown, if not sooner. Okay. And as the party climbs in to the sand skiff, I'm gonna give me an idea of what Mikhail is up to, or really everyone as well.
Myrrh is going to pull aside Baloo, I think, and say, do you think we should leave Memnon here with the Drow army, since we are going to be passing so many patrols, or should we take him with us?
It would be a shame if we went looking for Gildan, ended up at the pyramid, and delivered this guy straight to them.
That is what I'm thinking. I will confer with Memnon and see if he agrees as well, or if he wishes to come with. Yeah, and I figured I'd ask your opinion first.
Yeah.
So you talk to Memnon?
Yeah, we're buddies. We talk a lot.
Yeah, that's right. And he, he's looking there at Myrrh. There you go, sand skiff.
There you go.
You approach him and make your case. Memnon says, "Yes, I would prefer not to. Would prefer to remain as much outside of harm's way as possible."
I completely agreed. I just figured I would offer, but I do believe you would be more safe here.
I agree, and provided that the commander and Kellerall will still have me, I will take refuge here. And it seems
I will
like
make sure of it.
That's what they're doing.
I'll go talk to my cousin, but you keep an eye on him.
Yeah, they know that he's one of the two that's been sort of pursued by this. So the Drow are going about their plans. They're not really, doesn't seem like either of you or the Drow are very interested in involving each other in the whole mix. But they are busy as well, and looks like they might be preparing to move out later today. They've set up sort of a base camp here, which will have a guard, but the bulk of them will move out later. So you get into your sand skiff, and give me an idea of what everybody is going to be doing while you travel across the northern portion of the Land Between Two Rivers. Myrrh's driving.
I will assist in the driving.
Okay.
Used to wrestling things.
Are
Yeah.
there windows? Or...
It's open. It's open air.
right? Okay.
Yeah. There's a canopy that can be drawn up and kind of like covers the back portion of it, but you can't see how that would be helpful if it was going very fast.
Yeah. Then Ellie would probably just keep an eye out on everything, just very like intense.
Okay.
Like,
So Ellie's on lookout. How about Icky and Blue?
Icky will have requested Mer's spyglass and is also on lookout.
Gotcha. Okay. Ellie and Icky on lookout with spyglass, and Blue.
I think I'd probably be on lookout too. I guess.
Okay. Everybody's eagle-eyed and looking out. I think in that case, everybody's going to have an advantage on their perception checks as you're all passing the spyglass around and keeping a lookout. Now, the question is, what sort of check is this going to be to drive this thing? I am thinking it is I really need to make a new skill for this kind of thing, I think. I'm thinking it's going to be an intelligence check.
Ooh, okay. An intelligence check. I'm half proficient in it too.
Right.
So, and we have advantage because we spent a while. Yes.
Yeah, you spent so long studying it with an artificer.
Okay. Oh, well, that's not bad. Headband of intellect. All right, that is going to be +1 to 5. That's going to be a 19.
How fast do you want to go?
I'm going to play with it a little bit. I'm going to rev it, because if it leaves a huge dust trail, when we're going fat. What does it do it when we're moving normal speed?
It produces it kicks up some dust moving at normal speed, but it's not like a great big plume of dust or anything like that.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna. Do I think it's big enough to be noticeable, like at normal speed?
Probably not at normal speed.
Okay. Well, I'll keep it at normal speed then, and if I see anybody, I'm gonna go ludicrous speed.
All right.
Rev it.
Okay. So normally this thing travels at it's about the same rate as like a slow mount or something like that. It can just sort of like cruise along. But as Mer is driving it and operating it, you just get the distinct impression that whatever is in this is like, you're not fast enough. You're not, let's go. Like there's a sense of urgency. And maybe even Mer finds herself just tapping her foot nervously as she's operating it.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, let's see how fast it can go.
Okay.
We'll wait till we get behind like a rock outcropping or something, or like a dune, so we can just.
Okay, so everybody else can feel the speed picking up. The wind's racing by your face. Your hair is all flying every which direction. Eventually, everyone's gonna have to sit down, and there are places to sit down as this thing flies through the desert. Or through the grasslands, right? So there's like canals that crisscross between the outpost and the great tree. Most of the grass here is at least waist height. Along the canals, it goes even like above your head. It's like these great big tufts of grass that grow up between the canals, and this thing just like slices right through them, kicking up great big puffs of cut grass and water as it crosses the canals. And the entire time that Mer is operating this thing, you can just feel like this connection. I think I might have forgotten to mention that you have to attune to this thing in order to operate it.
Oh shit.
And so it is you can just feel your connection to this thing, like as it's saying, like, we're not fast enough. We're not fast enough. We could go faster. We could go faster.
Does it feel like a fiery or a windy kind
It feels just like a running spirit of air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, of air. Okay. I was gonna whisper to it in Infernal and see if it understood me if it was fire. And be like, hey.
No. Now, Mikhail could have probably told you that all manner of spirits, not just elemental, can operate these kind of things, but this one does seem to be spirit of air, and in astonishing speed, to the point where it would have taken you all day to walk from the outpost to the tree, and that's assuming you knew the exact way to crisscross all the different canals and everything, paths to take. You arrive at the Great Tree of Andrus in about 2 hours. As you zoom across the landscape.
Beautiful.
Those of you on watch, go ahead and give me perception tests.
With advantage?
Yes. This would be before the need for speed.
18.
14. Ugh.
18, 14.
You said we're in grasslands and not desert.
Correct.
$19.
19. So, Baloo and Icky, looking south, you can see that the servitors are definitely preparing for some kind of attack. Based on what you're able to see, it looks as though the Drow might have the advantage of numbers. But between the Drow and Trade Town are the same canals and grasslands that you are having to traverse. Neither one of you are like soldiers, but Ellie is. And based on that information, Ellie, you can kind of predict how this might go down. I'm going to let you decide how you know all this, right? Like with your soldier background, but you have an idea of like that this is going to be sort of nasty as the two sides meet in this marshy canal grassland area.
Okay. I think she would know just because of the books that her dad read to her about like combat and all that skills to pay the bills. Yeah. Yeah, Lindy said she played a lot of Risk. So.
Master tactician.
Master tactician.
Read The Art of War to you as bedtime stories.
So Ellie, you know, like, you're just kind of like looking at the landscape and sort of like, oh, this is how, and you're just like, maybe like, oh, this is what I would do or something, you know. But you can tell that this is going to be probably a protracted, there's not going to be any big major battle that decides things, and this might be more of like a guerrilla style fight where both sides use the cover and terrain for their advantage. That's just kind of what you know as you pass by the area and kind of survey the land, and you know something about both of the sides in this fight. But in the 2 hours it takes you to get here, nothing major changes. It's going to take the Drow a while to get going, and the servitors have all the time in the world to wait for them. As you approach the Great Tree, it of course sits on a rocky outcropping at the confluence of the Horn and the Hound rivers, and the tree of course is said to have grown a foot per day for the first 100 days that it was planted, fed by the blood that the warlords who pledged peace, that blood they'd washed off their blades, the tree fed on it. It is a magical tree. It is the source of a natural connection for the nature priests and druids and the like of the Fellowship. It is a sacred place for most of the people that live in this part of the wasteland. And as you approach it, you see a vast tent city that from a distance you could kind of get a sense of how large it was, but it isn't until you get close that you understand the scale of it. It looks as though a large portion of the denizens of Trade Town have fled here following the attack by Ling. It is crowded, chaotic, and more than a little just disorienting as you zoom in to all these kind of crowds that are gathered, people who are scared, worrying what's going to happen, soldiers that the Fellowship has assembled, and then of course members of the Fellowship themselves. And it's as you're zooming in, you hear from somewhere in the tent city a cry go up. Hey, that's my skiff. figure out what happens next week.
Oh, it has been confiscated by the Fellowship. Just give me 1 minute alone with him. That's
Right.
all I need.
That is all Myrrh needs.
Thank you, tabletop loot.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody for the cheers and the subs and everything. This is it keeps us going, and more importantly, it's just nice to have you here with us while we play some D&D, some weird post-apocalyptic science fantasy Dungeons and Dragons.
Absolutely, the best kind.
Damn straight. So, Josh, what do you think? Got a chance to test out some of the combat abilities of your subclass there?
Absolutely. I love it. As always, the druid is versatile and survivable and makes a good wizard.
Yes.
I will also say, Pruitt, you made a very good Numenera Nano tonight. Dude was totally straight Nano. I love it. I had a good time, guys. You can find me on Twitter at Beard for Charity. I'm also at Beard for Charity all over the place, actually.
Awesome.
And working on some commissions right now, but pretty soon they're going to be open. Come by and see my art, talk to me, and cool stuff.
Awesome. Anna, your dog is adorable, by the way.
Absolutely.
He's whining at me. He's like, Mom, it's time to go on a walk.
Right.
Come on. But I had a great time. You guys are always amazing to play with. And Pruitt, I'm so glad I got to play with you. So
Yeah, same here.
Woo.
So yeah, you guys can find me places and online. Cyborg Pizza on Twitch or Annaby Photo on Twitter. I'm also playing D&D. Well, it's an RPG called City of Mist on Encounter Roleplay Thursday mornings, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also I'm part of a Dungeons and Dragons 5e actual play podcast called Wonder Quest. So check us out on wherever podcasts are available.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Excellent. TK. Oh no. Where'd you go?
She's like,
It's okay. I just pushed the wrong button.
She's blue now.
I can't be trusted. I can't be trusted with simple tasks. It's me. It's TK. I had a great time. I usually like whenever I am sitting here, you get that face like it's a bad idea, and I'm like furiously typing in the back chat. I'm so glad I got to drown somebody this episode.
It's very satisfying.
Made my day. Whatever else happened for the rest of the session, I was like,
I did it. I drowned a grown man.
Wow.
yeah. I do spooky stories on the internet. You can find me at Twitter, TK Joins the Fray. You can find me at my new website with all kinds of spooky stories for free, tkjwrites.com. And pretty soon you're going to see me in a very secret project that is getting announced next week. But follow me on Twitter or follow Hell's Bells D&D on Twitter for some interesting hints into that, some teasers.
Yeah, the teases are very, they're tantalizing.
Yeah, you like those? Somebody else on the party and I composed the music for that first one.
Nice.
Yes.
Excellent. Lindy, how are you?
I'm doing spiffy. Mer found a fun toy that she's totally gonna try to be like, no, this is confiscated. It's, we gotta make sure this is very arcane. I don't think we can allow you to have this anymore, sir. Just 1 minute alone. That's all I need. I'm terrified. He'll just give it to me. Sign it right over. But
I'm sure he will.
60 seconds. That's all I need.
He only needs 30.
Oh
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. I can't wait for next week. This was a blast. I liked Pruitt's character for this evening and how everyone was kind of just like, do we really want to save Gildan? Oh wait, he's got Skitter Step. Now we have to go.
He's got Skitter Step. Yes.
It was very amusing, and I can't wait to have Grant back next week. As nice as Pruitt was, I'm pretty sure Icky was like this close to eating him
Actually, like I love him if he wants to hang out here. Like,
Mer is totally she's intrigued by him. She thinks
Vicky
he's
hates
interesting.
him, but
I know.
Vicky hates everyone at first.
She
So
does. It's true.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. Although I can see why Will keeps Pruitt and Lindy terrified in Call of Cthulhu, because otherwise,
What? Jill?
otherwise it's difficult to play from all the chortling and laughter.
You can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy. I almost forgot this part. I was so excited from today's game. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Laugh Love Lindy. We'll start with Thursday. Here every Thursday for this awesome, fantastical game that I love so much. Tomorrow, you can find me on Grimjack21502's channel for Firefly RPG. Every other Saturday, you can pretty much find me on Power Score RPG doing D&D, or on Scotticus's channel for the next couple of weeks doing Pirates Paradise. Sundays, tune in right here in the afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern for RPGN, where Pruitt and I basically do the exact same thing we did today. It's just shit tons of innuendos and dirty jokes. It's great, but we also recap clips and stuff. And then Sunday evening, Grimjack21502's channel again for Pulp Cthulhu. Tuesdays, we usually have Tom's Tentacles podcast, but we need to record some more episodes. Tuesday, also starting this coming week on the Greyhawk channel, I will be DMing the Rise of Vecna Lives. Vecna Lives, not the Rise of Vecna. Vecna Lives, and it's really spooky and exciting. It's a high-level campaign. Tuesday evenings, my channel, Out of the Abyss. Wednesdays, Encounter Roleplay with Pruitt again for Call of Cthulhu, and then 3 hours later for Star Wars RPG, right after the Warhammer game, which is also fun.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
Excellent. Pruitt, it was great to have you as a guest star here, and we missed Grant, but it was good to have you fill in and show off some of the weirder things. Artificer's a very good fit.
Yeah,
It really is.
It was quite a lot of fun. I'm glad that I got the chance to play with this crew. It's been fun watching you, so it was fun being intimidated by you. And so, and I will just say that Mikhail, before we depart, he flips like 3 coins, 1 to Ellie, 1 to Baloo, and 1 to Myrrh.
Oh.
And that will heal you for the next 8 hours if you need it. I must go find my friend. And he hops off the skiff and just kind of blends into the crowd.
Good luck. I hope he's not dead. He's
Nice.
dead.
But I'm Pruitt. I'm on WebDM. You know me. I'm around.
We're around. And yes, I am the other half of WebDM. You can catch us on Wednesdays for YouTube. We are here on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays with Starward Bound, Land Between Two Rivers, and RPGN. I'm also all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Come check us out on Warhammer on Wednesdays. It's a really fun game. Very different, I think. Less lighthearted. less. It's really kind of grim, dark, and brutal because it's Warhammer.
AF, yeah.
Right. So that's where we really appreciate you guys coming out here. Show us some love whenever you can. Shout outs, retweets. Just let your friends know. Just come hang out with us in chat. And of course, hit up our sponsor, Tabletop Loot, for your dice needs and get that 15% off there. Really appreciate it, guys. And we will see you Sunday for RPGN.
Woo!